All right, welcome back, True Seeker. I believe we're live. We might have been live for a few seconds again. We just had this happen the other day. It's taken a long time for it to say it's live on my end if I'm hitting the go live button. So I hope I haven't been just staring at this camera like an idiot. But anyhow, yesterday, Sunday, July 31st, was the last day of the Ignatian year. And there were a lot of big headlines yesterday, but the biggest was the death of Jesuit educated Bill Russell. And again, if you haven't been following what we've been talking about with this Ignatian year, it began May 20th, 2021. That's the day in history Ignatius of Loyola was shot with a cannonball, and it ended yesterday, July 31st, 2022. So it ran longer than a regular calendar year, but it concluded on the anniversary of the day Ignatius of Loyola died. And they started the Ignatian year on the 500-year anniversary of him being shot with a cannonball. Before we even get into Bill Russell, just remember, May 20th, Ignatius of Loyola, cannonball. Remember who died on that day not that long ago? It was Billy Cannon. Billy Cannon died on May 20th. And that was the day that Joe Burrow transferred from Ohio State to LSU. And then he went on to beat Clemson in the championship in New Orleans and win the Heisman. The only other player for LSU who ever did that was Billy Cannon. And then last year was the Joe Burrow playoffs, where he played all four of Billy Cannon's NFL teams. He played the Raiders, he played the Titans, he played the Chiefs, and he played the Rams. Those are the only four teams Billy Cannon ever played for, with the clear parallels to Joe Burrow and a big Jesuit ritual. And now we have Bill Russell, who dies at the end of this Ignatian year. And again, he was Jesuit educated. And where did he go to school? He went to the University of San Francisco, one of the nation's 27 Jesuit colleges in the Bay Area. And who did the Celtics just lose to in the NBA Finals? They lost to the Golden State Warriors, now playing in San Francisco. And if you are following our work on Patreon, you know, we had Warriors over Celtics well before the series was set. Been teaching you guys over and over how all of sports are rigged through the Jesuits, who control these rigged leagues and perform rituals like this in accordance. And again, from college to pro, you know, basketball to NBA to MLB, we're showing you how it's all synced up with the Jesuits, how it's all synced up with the Pope season after season. Now look, one of the biggest NBA legends dead on a very special Jesuit day. Again, the concluding date of the first ever Jesuit Ignatian year. And again, the Jesuits served the Roman Catholic Church. The Warriors won the series over the Celtics on June 16th this year, right? June 16th. From that day to Bill Russell's death was a span of 46 days. What equals 46? Celtics does. What else equals 46? Catholic, like the 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. Like Joe Biden, the second Catholic president, number 46. The first was JFK, who was from Massachusetts, like the Celtics, assassinated at age 46. And recall what we talked about in the NBA Finals. We talked about the death of John Havlicek and what he had to do with the Game 1 ritual. So we'll bring all this together as we go through it. But if you're new here, Gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. And there are four ciphers that we predominantly look at: alphabetic order, reverse alphabetic order, and then alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. And in this case, the word sacrifice is 73, which is the 21st prime number. The big star of the NBA, Steph Curry, born on the 73rd day of the year, Pi Day. You might recall when he set the win record, surpassing Jordan's Bulls when they set the mark at 73 wins. When you use numerology, sacrifice equals 46, like Catholic. And remember, there's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament that begins with Genesis, and Genesis 46 is about sacrifice. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, sacrifice is 170. Bill Russell was born February 12th. He died on the 170th day of his age. And when you run the alphabetic order in reverse numerology, sacrifice is 62. He died 62 weeks and days after the Ignatian year began. So all of these numbers highly relevant to the ritual. Again, 73 is the 21st prime number. The Celtics go to the finals in the 21-22 season. Of course, 22 is the bigger part of it because basketball equals 22 like Boston, and that was their 22nd championship. this year. But again, you know these ciphers, you see through the rituals. Now, notice he died July 31st, right? Recall the NBA Finals began on June 2nd. And notice the parallels between July 31st and June 2nd. July 31st is the 212th day of the year, leaving 153 days remaining. June 2nd is the 153rd day of the year, leaving 212 days remaining. That 212 is interesting because Bill Russell's birthday is February 12th. But notice from the day the finals started to the day he died was 59 days later. Now, remember, both days had the 153 connection, where 153 and 59 align is through the number 17. 153 is the 17th triangular number. That means if you add 1 through 17 together, it equals 153. If you take the prime number relationship of 59, it's the 17th prime number. So both 153 and 59 have a mathematical connection to 17. Prime numbers are those that can only be divided by one of themselves. And we call the NBA the 17 League. Out of all the years of making sports picks, and we've nailed a lot, the easiest one ever was when LeBron went from the 17th state, Ohio, to the Lakers on the first day of July. And we said, boom, right there. And not to mention, they reported it at first that he went there on a $153 million deal. But we said, there it is right there. In LeBron's 17th season, he'll win the Lakers their 17th championship, tying the Celtics at 17 championships. What did LeBron do in his 17th season? That was the year Kobe's death by the numbers, synced up with the Catholic Pope. Remember, Kobe died at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass. Then LeBron wins the finals exactly 41 weeks after his birthday, when Kobe, Bryant, King, and LA all equal 41. But again, LeBron did that, got the Lakers the 17th championship in the 17th season in what we call the 17 League. And, you know, John Havlicek, let's not forget that he wore number 17 for the Celtics, Bill Russell's teammate. When he died, it was 17 days after his birthday. He died in Jupiter, Florida. Jupiter's the tiger stripe planet. Bill Russell's dead in the year of the tiger, right after International Tiger Day. But the day that John Havlicek died was the day that Joe Biden decided to run for president. And he was given the Secret Service name Celtic on the same day that the Celtic died, right? Number 17 days after his birthday. And again, Joe Biden has the JFK parallels. John F. Kennedy equals 59. Biden won the 59th presidential election, again, the 17th prime. So you can see why they did this. But again, the Kennedy family from Massachusetts like the Celtics as well. And from Biden's birthday to when Havlicek died, it was 156 days later, like Boston Celtics. And Havlicek died at age 79. Joe Biden was 79 years old when the Celtics made it to the finals, which again is the 22nd prime number, like Boston in basketball, 22. Again, John Havlicek's name, like Society of Jesus. Again, that's the Jesuits. They're the same thing. Catholic and Celtics. So when Havlicek died, it was a Thursday. Catholic and Thursday have a lot in common. So anyhow, just wanted to bring back in that parallel because remember, game one of the NBA Finals was on the 153rd, or excuse me, yeah, it was on the 153rd day of the year, the 17th triangular number. And remember what happened in that game one of the NBA Finals between Boston and essentially San Francisco, Bill Russell's connections. That game, the Warriors led the whole game, but they lost in the closing minutes as the Celtics went on a 17-0 run to win their 17th playoff game against the Warriors in the playoffs, their 17th playoff win against the Warriors on the perfect date with the 17-0 run. And, of course, they ended up losing the finals, staying on 17 championships, which was good for us because we thought it was lock city for the Warriors to beat the Celtics. Remember, they played each other on Pope Francis's birthday, and the Warriors won that game. That was December 17th. The Warriors became 10-3 on the road, like how they ended up winning in Boston with 103 points on the Ultimate Warriors birthday, Ultimate Warrior 103. Warriors, Ultimate Warrior. LeBron did the Ultimate Warrior joke when they beat the Warriors in 2016. But, and not to mention, LeBron did that in his 103rd playoff, or his 103rd game of that season when he won on the real King James's birthday. But Again, the Warriors became 10-3 on the road, and the Celtics fell to 7-5 at home. Well, again, later that year, the Warriors became 7-5 in championships in the 75th NBA season, picking up their 75th road win in the playoffs as they defeated the Celtics. Huge rituals synced up with the Pope. Again, Pope, the first Jesuit Pope, the head of the Catholic Church. We're talking about this massive Catholic Jesuit ritual here now with Bill Russell. And keep in mind, Pope Francis equals 59 in Gematria as well, like how Pope Benedict, before him, stepped down on the 59th day of the year to make way for Pope Francis, who was also made the cardinal in Argentina on the 59th day of the year before he was Pope. But again, with regards to 59, not only does Pope Francis equal 59 and John F. Kennedy, and remember, the last time the Warriors and Celtics met in the finals, it was the season where JFK was assassinated. JFK was assassinated at the end of 63. The Warriors and the Celtics met in the finals that spring-summer of 64. So that was part of the JFK season, who has the parallels with Biden. But notice Bill Russell's name, William Russell, 59, John F. Kennedy, 59, Pope Francis, 59. And we've been talking about these same themes the whole time, how all of these things are related. Sports, news, politics, history, all scripted together year after year, season after season, and the ritual sacrifices come with it. And, as for Bill Russell dying at age 88, there's a lot of things that can be said about the number 88. You think of the chessboard, right? 8 by 8, 64 spaces. What year did the Celtics and Warriors play in the finals when Bill Russell was on the Celtics? That was in 64, right? If you die at age 88, it means you died in your 89th year of life. 89 is a super special number. It's the 11th Fibonacci number, first of all. How many championships did Bill Russell win? He won 11. Dead on 31/7, 317. 317 is the 66th prime. 66 is the 11th triangular number. These numbers fit together mathematically, but he won 11 championships, dead at age 89. He has so many parallels with LeBron James. Remember, the name James equals 89. The gospel, the story of Jesus, since we're talking about the Society of Jesus, has 89 chapters. The name Jesus is 11. The only physical description left of Jesus in the Bible is that of someone who has to be at least partly of African descent, hair like wool, darker complected skin. People are always getting so hurt about that. Oh, I don't know why you say that. Jesus wasn't black. Like, okay, there's no proof Jesus even existed. But if you look at the physical description in the Bible, you'd have to think that he's at least part African. And again, the oldest Jew in the book is Methuselah, who's black. Jesus is from Judea. It's funny how people always get so butthurt when I point out that it looks like Jesus was probably black. They get so butthurt about it. But again, all the clues are there. And then the even bigger clues is how I'm here on, am I not on the tube every week showing how the latest black man was sacrificed in a Society of Jesus Jesuit ritual? I mean, what do you guys think they're doing? If Jesus wasn't black, why are they killing all these black men in these huge Jesuit rituals? 42 generations to Jesus. What's Bill Russell equal? 42. What's LeBron James equal? 42. What did the Warriors win the finals? Oh, 4-2. Now Bill Russell's dead. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's no connection here. I'm sure you and your ignorance has figured it out more. And anyway, coming back, let's not forget that Bill Russell was drafted into the NBA in 56. Society of Jesus 56. Think about Tupac on the Cross, the album released on the day leaving 56 days left in the year. Tupac, who also learned how to rap in the Bay Area. A lot of things going on in the Bay Area. The Black Panther Party being established in the Bay Area with all of their original meetings in Catholic churches. Remember how we called Super Bowl 50 in October? We not only did we call the Super Bowl, we called the halftime performer, we called Von Miller being the MVP, we called all that in October, from knowing this. That was a long time ago. And we've done it a million times since. But anyway, he joined the Hall of Fame in 75. Remind me what NBA season just concluded. Again, the 75th NBA season. San Francisco in 75. There's something going on there. The 49ers won the 75th NFL season. The Warriors win the 75th NBA season. Again, they became 7-5 in championships, picking up their 75th road win in the playoffs. And earlier in the year, they dropped Boston to 7-5 at home on the Pope's birthday. And again, Catholic Church, 75. New World Order, 75. Order, 75. Special number. Don't forget the New York Times headline from October 6th, 1940, right as World War II was getting underway. October 6th, 1940, a date with 75 numerology. The New York Times headline that day said, New World Order pledged to Jews. Look it up. If you don't think that's a real headline, look it up. I've showed it a million times. New York Times, October 6th, 1940, New World Order pledged to Jews. Again, the Jesuits are Catholic and Jewish. And the face of the NBA for all of my life has been Jewish. Anyhow, Bill Russell dead on 31-7, 317 the 66th prime, 66 the 11th triangular number, black equals 11 like Jesus. Let's not forget LeBron equals 66, LeBron James 66. He's dead 213 days after LeBron's birthday. Remember, 213, that number connects to the LA area code. It connects to the word racism in Jewish gematria. You might recall LeBron's 213th career playoff game was played on June 1st, the day leaving 213 days left in the year in game one of the NBA Finals. And the headline before the game was that somebody spray painted the N-word on his house in the LA area code. And that was before he'd even gone to the Lakers. That was back when he was still on the Cavs. And remember, the Cavs are named after, for people who don't know the history, King James, his son was King Charles, and those who fought for King Charles were called Cavaliers. That's why you got LeBron, King James on the Cavs. Again, all these things that they just put out in plain sight, and they expect no one in America to get it because the ruling class knows America doesn't know shit about shit. Anyway, that's why they got LeBron, the real King James, winning his first finals for the Cavs on the real King James's birthday. And we told you he'd come back from 3-1 when it was 40-1 odds. That's the value of knowing this knowledge. Also, with regards to him dying at age 88, there's a few things to say about that besides it being his 89th year of life. California equals 88. Again, played at the Jesuit school in California, San Francisco. Just lost to the Warriors in California in the finals. But the thing that really jumped out to me when I first saw the headline about Bill Russell dead at 88, my initial thought was, those damn Jesuits. The Jesuits are known for killing people with arsenic. This is their favorite way to kill. And the word poison with the most simple cipher is 88. Arsenic poisoning with the alphabetic order and numerology is also 88. Poison, 88. Arsenic poisoning, 88. Again, 8 times 8 is 64. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, NBA does equal 64. We normally talk about the 17 with NBA, but it does have a 64 in its gematria. Again, the 64 finals with Bill Russell was Warriors and Celtics, and now dead after the Warriors beat the Celtics in this year's finals. The big star of the Celtics right now is Jason Tatum. He died 150 days after Jason Tatum's 24th birthday. That's interesting because remember, the sun, they say it's 150 million kilometers away on average. This happened on a Sunday. If you write out heliocentrism, the model where the sun's at the center of it, agreed to in the 16th century, the same century the Jesuits were created, heliocentrism equals 150. The word Illuminati equals 150. Again, a lot of rituals with 150, as we so often talk about. If you write out the sun, it also equals 24, like 24 hours in a day dictated by the sun. 150 days after Jason Tatum's 24th birthday. And Jason Tatum, they compare him to Kobe. And, you know, I honestly think it's somewhat of a fair comparison. You watch Jason Tatum play. He's pretty smooth. He's big like Kobe. He's got the nice shot. He's got the nice all-around game. Plays pretty tough on D. You know, the NBA is scripted, but there is real talent and there is real shooting form. When I watch Jason Tatum play, I see Kobe Bryant in this game. But keep in mind, you know, that thing with the Celtics and Lakers, right? The long ongoing rivalry, California and Boston. And remember, the Warriors fit in, right? The Warriors are like the Lakers bandit. Remember, Kobe's dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was drafted by the Warriors 41 years before Kobe retired and before his death at age 41. So that definitely stands out. Jason Tatum, big star in the league for many years to come. And notice Jason Tatum's also from St. Louis, strong Jesuit city. Remember, the reason Brady did so many 201 Jesuit rituals with the St. Louis Rams is because Again, huge number at the Jesuits, but the first ever forward pass in football history was thrown by the Jesuit school, St. Louis University. So anyhow, Jason Tatum, he's from St. Louis. Who was Bill Russell drafted to in the NBA? He was drafted to St. Louis. So it would make sense that this would be so synced with Jason Tatum. It's probably synced with more. I only looked so far. But again, Bill Russell, 11-time NBA champion, the master number. And I did notice that he died on the anniversary of Kevin Garnett joining the Celtics. He died on the 15-year anniversary. I did just say Illuminati equals 150, which is true. If you run it the other way, Illuminati equals 120. 120 is the 15th triangular number. If you had 1 through 15, it equals 120. And that's why the Illuminati was founded on the first day of the 5th month, 1/5. It's why Skull and Bones, which is part of the Illuminati network, modeled after the secret societies of Bavaria, allows 15 members per year. So that's probably not an accident. Dead on the 15-year anniversary of KG joining the Celtics, helping them get that 17th championship. But in light of the 59 piece that we talked about here with the death, how important this was, I want to talk about another death that made headlines yesterday, in addition to Bill Russell, actress Nichelle Nichols. And then I also want to talk about why CNN and other mainstream media on Sunday made the death of Brianna Grier in Georgia a top story. And we'll talk about some more headlines, but these three all fit together. So Nichelle Nichols, her acting debut began in 59, right? And then she made a name for herself on Star Trek, and Star Trek has the Gematria 59. Her news headline did break yesterday, July 31st, but she had reportedly died the day before July 30th. July 30th was a date with 59 numerology. So again, she gets her acting debut in 59. She breaks out with Star Trek, which equals 59, and dies on a date with 59 numerology. But in light of her dying July 30th, not only did that day have 59 numerology, that day could be written 30/7, like 307, the 63rd prime. And remember, this number is connected to racism. They just did the big rituals with Chris Rock and Will Smith in the same old numbers, where 63 was a part of it. But notice her first breakout film. It was called Porgy and Bess, and notice it was focused on Black life. But it came out in 59, 63 years ago. Bess is 63, like racism, right? And again, it's just a reminder of how well coordinated these rituals are when they kill these people. But here's the other thing. They saved the news for 317, 31/7. 317's the 66th prime. Her character name on Star Wars, Uhura 66, who's a woman, right? Another 66 word. And that first ever episode that she was on for Star Trek was called The Man Trap, which is an interesting name. But look at this. The Man Trap equals 154, like ritual sacrifice equals 154. And she died on the day leaving 154 days left in the year. And then all the headlines are about how Star Trek was her breakout. And lo and behold, the first episode syncs perfectly with the day she died. And again, this is what we've been showing for 9 years straight. When these celebrities die, their deaths are clearly synced up rituals with what they're remembered for. It's clockwork. And again, July 30th, day leaving 154 days. 154, again, connects to ritual sacrifice as well as the name of her show. It also connects in a big way to the planet Saturn, which the Grim Reaper is associated with. And she died on a Saturday. Remember, Saturnalia is 154 plus a number of other things. In light of the news breaking of her death, breaking on the last day of the Ignatian year, that first episode of Star Trek, September 8th, that's the Virgin Mary's birthday, who's very important to the Catholic Church. Her birthday is September 8th. Keep in mind that day can be written 8/9, like 89, right? Kind of like how Bill Russell died in his 89th year of life. Again, the 11th Fibonacci number, Black 11. Sacrificing these notable Black people on the last day of the Jesuit year, the most racist numerological order there ever was. But September 8th is also the 251st day of the year, which is the 54th prime number. And again, Jesuit order equals 54, like sun. And again, just the news, the day she died is perfect for what she's remembered for. The day they break the news also adds to the ritual, syncing up with the character name. So few numbers there to remember, but again, 59 at the core of it. That number stamped all over Black history. Slave, Negro, Blues, Rasta, they all equal 59. Motown came out in 59. Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. Um, they say her son broke the news of her death, and then they mention her full character name, Lieutenant Nyota Uhura. The full character name has Gematria 148, like Nichelle Nichols, also like her son Kyle Johnson. So it's like, what are the odds of that too? That's strange. But Kyle Johnson broke the news of her death. And for the record, the word fraternal is also 148, and that's what these things are. They are fraternal orders. But RIP to her as well. But we've seen this so many times before. A handful of dead Black celebrities, all connected through the number 59. And sometimes it's mixed in with a story like this, which isn't of a celebrity, but the killing of a Black person. So here you have a woman who fell to her death while in police custody. This is the story they're telling us. And they actually put out this video footage on International Tiger Day. And remember, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the original word isn't tiger, it's the N word. But I just want you to see that they put out the video for this on International Tiger Day, and then they made this a huge news story. CNN talked about this all day on the last day of the Ignatian year. But notice, in Gematria, in the most simple cipher, Brianna, that's the woman's name, Tiger, Negro, Slave, Rasta, Blues, they're all 59, right? This happened on, they put out the video on International Tiger Day. And notice with numerology, you see the overlap with 32, with Brianna, Tiger, and Negro, since this is International Tiger Day. But then you also see where Slave, Rasta, and Blues are 14. They say that she died July 15th. That was the kill date in July. So from the day they put out the video, July 15th, July 29th, International Tiger Day was 14 days later, you see? And again, just to go back over this from the top, CNN went crazy with this story, and keep in mind, CNN's in Georgia where this happened. But they did this on a date with a life lesson number of 44. As we know, shooting, execution, officer, department, military, genocide, Georgia. So often when we see these stories of anyone being killed by police, but more often than not, they're Black people, the number 44 is encoded, right? It's the number associated with death and killing. MLK killed on 4-4. Malcolm X killed on a date with 44 numerology, and the list goes on through Dick Gregory and beyond. And keep in mind, Georgia, where this happened, is also the fourth state. The fourth state with the 44 connection. They used to have the monument, the Georgia Guidestones, that just came down earlier in the month by the numbers. And we've been talking about for years what's going to happen when those things become 44 years old, which will be 2024. But notice that she died July 15th, which was the kill date. And again, the reason it was the kill date is because it had the numerology of 64, 28, and 44. That only happens one time a month, overlapping with kill in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And from the day that she died until the news, where CNN went crazy with it, that was a total span of 17 days. The only value of kill we didn't cover was 17. Right? So CNN was sure to take care of that by making this, their top story until Bill Russell's death on July 31st. And let me see. Brianna Grier, the woman who died, was 28. Again, it happened on a date with 28 numerology on the kill day, right? And then the Ignatian year, again, all these things being Jesuit rituals, the Ignatian year began May 20th, 2021. She died July 15th, reportedly. That was 421 days after the Ignatian year began. That's the 82nd prime number. Brianna Grier, 82. And, there might be a relationship to the Georgia Guidestones because, again, those monuments were unveiled on the 82nd day of 1980. And, again, there is a real plan to depopulate. And every time they're talking about, communities most at risk, we know who they're talking about. For every last thing that happens in the world, the community that's most at risk is the Black community every time. And then you got all these crazy psychopaths who pose as good people like Bill Gates doing all their medical experiments in the Black continent. Don't forget, you got Goody Mob from Georgia. Shout out to CeeLo Green. We need another shout out, CeeLo. But CeeLo Green is, to date, the only who you would say super famous celebrity who ever shared his work on on his platform. He shared our video that Jonathan and I did about Goody Mob's song from 1995, Cell Therapy. He shared our video on his Instagram page. And I took that as saying, yeah, CeeLo Green recognizes that what we're saying is not bullshit. And we're showing how in that music video, it probably wasn't the cast members of Goody Mob, but the people that, you know, control the production of the music video that put in the symbolism that was in there that foreshadowed the pandemic we've been living out. And if you haven't heard the song Goody Mob excuse me, not the song Goody Mob, the song Cell Therapy by Goody Mob, you should listen to that song or at least read the lyrics, because that song, even though it came out in the mid-90s, it's more relevant today than it ever was. And this woman, Brianna Grier, she's got the gematria in her name, 116 and 71, like African-American. I should have put it up there. Ketanji Brown Jackson has the same numbers in her name. Kamala Devi Harris has the same numbers in her name. Let's not forget, Ketanji just became the 116th Supreme Court Justice. And right after they overturned Roe versus Wade with Jackson versus Dobbs, then you get the first black female Supreme Court justice with the surname Jackson, while they're telling you that the Roe versus Wade overturning is going to impact black women the most. Again, if you missed all of our stuff on Roe versus Wade, it's all up there. Make sure you're following all the channels. Gematria Effect News 25, 24, 23, 22, and Sports. That is 5 channels to subscribe to. The reason I got to do it that way is because I'm getting suspended every week. I got to keep switching channels. But her parent name, Marvin Grier, who tells the story, he also has the 71 encoded in his name in the same cipher. Remember, Joe Biden supposedly got 71% of the black vote. Let's not forget Barack Hussein Obama equals 116, you know. So it was July 15th. They said she died. Interesting for a few reasons. It can be written 15/7, like 157, the 37th prime. Georgia does equal 37 when you run it in reverse. So does Joe Biden. Joe Biden carried Georgia like Jimmy Carter. All the parallels between Joe Biden and Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter probably going to kick the bucket soon. And the name United States also equals 157. Propaganda for the nation. Who's there again? Ben Crump. Who else? Ben Crump at every made-for-TV psyop. This is a guy I got to run into in person. I would love to call this guy out. But you know, that's what I hate about this society. You run into these people in person, they just won't say anything. They'll have all sorts of security around them. They'll be chauffeured off into a car. No one says a word. You know, it's that MLK speech. A time to break silence. Silence is betrayal. These people always silent about the truth. For the record, Benjamin Crump's name's just like Freemasonry, and they unveiled that video, and he spoke on International Tiger Day. I mean, just think about it. But that was a date with 58 numerology. So all of those stories were buzzing on the last day of the Ignatian year. And another thing that was in the news is you had Orlando. You had a mass shooting in Orlando, down where the CIA set up Disney World in a huge Jesuit ritual. Remember, Walt Disney was De Molay, which is Knights Templar. The Templar cross is in the middle of the Jesuit logo. But you had a mass shooting in Orlando on this day. Of course, you had the mass shooting in Orlando back in 2016 on June 12th, the Pulse nightclub shooting. But this was a fitting day for a mass shooting. It was 31/7, 317, the 66th prime. What does mass shooting equal? 66. You know what? As I keep saying that, I got to check something in my mind. Is this wrong or is it right? I was getting this idea in my head that Boston Celtics might also have the 66 connection. Mass shooting, though, is 66. You see it, 317, the 66th prime. Make sure I'm not missing anything with that. Okay, I'm not. Orlando, Florida has gematria of Jesuit order in multiple ciphers. Again, this was the last day of the Ignatian year. And the last day of the Ignatian year did fall on the day, leaving 153 days left in the year. Again, let me just write out Jesuit order real quick. You see the 153? You see the 144, the 72? Look at Orlando, Florida, right? Orlando, Florida, 144, 72. Jesuit order with those numbers plus the 153 on the day, leaving 153 days left in the year. Perfect day to close out the Ignatian year. And do you think the founder of the Jesuits died on that day by accident? In light of the way they've set up the calendars in tribute? The mayor, John Dyer, this happened on his 359th day of his age. That's the 72nd prime number. We just saw Jesuit order and Orlando, Florida equals 72. Huge number with the Jesuits. The sun moves 1 degree every 72 years on the astrological wheel. All these numbers are about the sun. The word sun is 54, like Jesuit order as well. This, again, happened on a date with a numerology of 44. Shooting, mass shooter, gunfire, they're all 44. Kill, execution, they're 44. They didn't say anyone died here, but of course Bill Russell did. And it happened 320 days after Ron DeSantis' birthday. Remember, Roman Catholic Church is 320. It's also 94, kind of like Sidney Poitier dead at 94, 320 days after his birthday. Kind of like George Floyd pulled out of the ML 320 and killed in front of a police cruiser 320 by a 44-year-old officer on the 44th parallel north. For the record, officer and department also equal 44. And this incident, here, let me see what the latest is from Ron DeSantis. I'm going to see if he's going to talk about this shooting. So far, nothing. I was going to pay attention if Ron DeSantis does anything interesting today, because today, August 1st, the day after the shooting, is 44 days before DeSantis' 44th birthday. He is in his 44th year of life right now. The shooting did happen on a date with numerology of 80, going with his full name, Ronald Dion DeSantis. And don't you just, it's just like nobody even notices anything. It's just like, what's wrong with America? How come they don't get any of the mockery in their face? All these years of Donald Trump being compared to Ronald Reagan. Like, nobody even makes the observation about Donald and Ronald, right? They just ignore it. Yeah, there are a lot of parallels, actors, same campaign, the wall thing, But it's like it's like these things aren't coincidences, people. This is mockery. And now the greatest thing since Donald Trump is Ronald DeSantis. It's just and their name. Look at their names. Ron DeSantis. You see the numbers? 138, 48, 159, right? Watch this. Donald Trump. 138, 48, 159. The only thing that's different is the 60 and 69, and it goes in Trump's favor because the next presidential election is the 60th. But it's just, again, you guys, the chessboard is set. The Jesuits, they choose their candidates accordingly, and they mock with the most obvious of rituals, but somehow nobody sees it. Mass hypnosis. Okay, and then Putin had big threats in Ukraine. We know the whole Russia-Ukraine thing is a massive ongoing Jesuit psychological operations that's got energy prices up worldwide for the Agenda 21 and 2030 goals, which are all Jesuit from the beginning. And I don't even know. You guys can come read my post here. Again, a lot of you guys leaving comments, Zach, cover Bill Russell. Zach, cover Bill Russell. Again, where do you think I'd covered it yesterday? I didn't have a chance to make a video yesterday, but I did have a chance to make some posts. Again, on days where I can't make videos, posts are going up all around the clock whenever I get a chance at GematriaEffectNews. So, again, make sure you guys are tuned in. I post a lot of content every day on the website. I don't make videos about everything. There might be a super important post you wish you'd seen, and you're not going to see it unless you check GematriaEffect.news. Also, this kind of stuff, people just don't even get it, but it's such mockery. Republican nominee for Maryland Attorney General hosted 9/11 conspiracy radio shows. This was a story that CNN brought up out of nowhere yesterday from years ago, just to close out the Ignatian year. And again, that's how you see you're just being played with. Maryland, right? The Virgin Mary, who's dead in the news. Nichelle Nichols with the Virgin Mary's birth on the last day of the Ignatian year. What else is in the news? The Maryland Attorney General or nominee for that position. Again, the Catholic Church is big on Mary. The Catholic Church has controlled the land that Washington, D.C.'s on, Georgetown, and all that for longer than the federal government's been there. And that's why in this Catholic-controlled nation, the capital's between Virginia in Maryland. It's another thing. It's like, how dumb are people, man? Like, how dumb are we, seriously? Roman architecture everywhere, Roman fasces on the wall of the House of Representatives, Virgin Maryland. It's just like it couldn't be any more obvious. Washington, D.C. is an independent city state, something almost no American knows. There's only three in the world. One is the Vatican, one is Washington, D.C., and the other is the banking district of London, where modern Freemasonry was created by the Jesuits. They're all Jesuit territories. They're the three independent city states. The three stars that represent them are on Washington, D.C.'s flag. But anyhow, they got to bring this up on the end of the Ignatian year, right? Their biggest ritual of all time, making two towers become zero before it became one. The biggest Jesuit number of all, 201. And again, just sticking it right in your face. Ignatius of Loyola, 201. The Jesuit Order, 201. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 201. The whole Jesuit history, 201. The World Trade Center is a huge part of it. And this guy's name, Michael Peroutka, 68. Like the same year 911 was made the National Emergency Dialing Code. The same year World Trade Center construction began in New York. The same year George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. So many things went into motion in 68. The New York Jets' only Super Bowl winning season. Something the Patriots could never do until 9/11 and the Patriot Act. Again, sports, news, history. It's all scripted together. And the guy's full name's also 102, like how they simulated the attack with Operation Amalgam Virgo 102 days before the attack on 9/11 in the time of Virgo. An amalgam is a metal mixed with mercury, and Virgo's ruled by Mercury, the astrology piece. But yeah, just all of these things, man. These people, they don't. These psychopaths that rule over us, they can't get enough of the practical jokes, man. They cannot get enough, and they just love that they like literally rub humanity's face in shit every day and get away with it. You got this fake truth community getting on here. Oh man, R.I.P. to Bill Russell. I got to say that before I get into today's topic. It's like your whole topic should be about how Bill Russell was murdered, not just saying R.I.P. to Bill Russell. Fake truth community that doesn't know shit about shit. And then what they get into is a bunch of their opinions that don't mean anything about why you should probably vote for Donald Trump. This truth community is the fakest, most fraudulent, pathetic thing there ever was. And really, a lot of you guys need to hit the unsubscribe button on the majority of people you follow and just tune in here so you don't miss notifications. Every broadcast that we do here is truth, facts, undeniable. And here's some more. Elon Musk, Jesuit puppet, been calling out for years. Now he's got his trials set for his whole Twitter fiasco. And look, remember how he bought Twitter on the 115th day of the year? And then he won out of it 74 days later. Twitter's 115 forward, 74 in reverse. Now the trial's set to end. And what kind of I haven't been in court enough, but normally I think when they set a trial start date, they don't also set the end date. Normally it's like you have to wait and see. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe there are some cases where there's a set end date, but they gave this one a set end date. The trial is going to be over on October 21st, 115 days after Musk's birthday. And remember when he bought Twitter on the 115th day of the year, again, before regretting it 74 days later, he had 115 followers on Twitter as well. So, and by the way, the name of the judge, Judge Kathleen St. Jude McCormick. Wow, I don't know if that could sound any more Catholic. The trial is going to begin 111 days after his birthday and end 115 days after. Remember, computer and internet are 111, but the judge's name when you use numerology. And again, I mean, this is why you need the ciphers. Slow people always say, I don't get why you need 4 ciphers, though. Well, how are you going to cram a big number into a set of words? And you want to, this is my point right here. How are you going to code 111 in Judge Kathleen St. Jude McCormick and also one word like computer? Or internet. You know what I mean? That's why you need the system. Sometimes you got to code that same number in a set of words. Sometimes you need it just that value in one word. Here's a computer internet guy with a trial by the numbers, with a judge by the numbers, and just the latest ritual with this guy. And it's just so obvious. This guy is not intelligent. All these people are the same. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, all of these people are the same. They are puppets on strings. They don't really run the companies. They didn't really found the companies. All of these companies are part of the Jesuit fascist network that serves the Roman Empire, the Vatican, and that's who runs all this shit. And these are their fronts. So you think that's some private company. You have to remember what the Vatican is. The Vatican is its own country. It has its own central bank. It can print its own money. It can make billionaires out of billionaires who it wants to in the same way the Federal Reserve, which is also controlled by the same Jesuits, can. Whoever prints the money can choose whoever they want to be a billionaire and to go out and speak in front of screens and be this notable voice of authority. Because that's all it takes in America. Here we are, a bunch of working class slaves educated by the dumbest of people who are practically paid minimum wage in 13 years of slave school. That's almost what all of us got. Dumb people that had to sit over and babysit us and teach us a bunch of bullshit through 13 years of bullshit school. And then when we get out, well, not even when we get out, the whole time we're growing up, whatever's on the screen, that's what we're worshiping and believing in more than, even more than our teachers in our classrooms. And rightfully so, because most of us recognize our teachers don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, all of these people are actors, period. Just follow the rituals that go on every single day with them, and you'll see they're not making their own decisions. Elon Musk declared the richest man in the world. Again, go back and look at the article. I'll tell you exactly how it was. Go back and look it up. It was from January 7th, 2021, the 78-year anniversary of the death of Nikola Tesla. Tesla's 78 like Jesuit, 78. And by the way, hold on. I know there was a 78 here in this story. Or maybe I'm tripping. All right, never mind. But anyway, when he was declared the richest man, it was the 78-year anniversary of the death of Tesla. And if you go back and look, they'll say he was worth $191 billion that day, and he'd passed Jeff Bezos, who was worth $187 billion, another Jesuit puppet. And not to mention, they said he was the richest man in the world. Look at billionaire, 191. And again, that day they said he was worth $191 billion. So now he's the billionaire with Twitter problems. Another 74 word, billionaire and Twitter. Okay. But yeah, I mean, we just continue to keep documenting the same thing about this guy. And, the fake truth community. Again, turn on the fake truth community. Oh, man. I hope Elon Musk, I hope he really does end up getting Twitter and like getting rid of the censorship, because that could be really great for all of us. It's like, yeah, I'm sure it'll be real great for all of us if the Jesuit puppet takes over the already Jesuit-controlled platform. And even if they did make it a little bit better, it would just be another experiment, just trying to gain. Again, this is the guy that wants to put computer chips in your brain and turn you into an android. So I guess that's part of the ongoing narrative, to keep building the trust so that when he tells you that, yeah, I think it's a good idea to put this computer chip in your brain. Yeah, I think it's a good job. I think it's a great idea to leave your body and upload your consciousness to my online platform. Probably this so they can sell your carcass for Soylent Green, since we're in 2022. But yeah, it's why it's so annoying, Turn into these losers live streams. They got like 50,000 people streaming, watching. It's like, why does anybody want to watch this person? Do you not realize this person has no idea what they're talking about? Come check out my live stream and compare the difference, because there is no comparison. So, you'd think after calling a million Super Bowls, World Series, NBA Finals, college championships, tennis outcomes, all the stuff we've called elections, and being right, you think like we'd have 50,000 people tuning into our live stream by now. And we might have if we hadn't been deleted and censored and buried at the algorithm so many times. But by the way, for one more, this happened today. Deshaun Watson in trouble again. The latest black racial shame. By the way, remember the whole Watson and Watts. Remember when Watts got out of town, J.J. Watt? That all started with the Houston blackout, which who called the Houston blackout before it happened on Valentine's Day? That's right, we did at the beginning of the year. We said why there'd likely be blackouts throughout the nation on that Valentine's Day, which hit Houston, and then J.J. Watt wanted out of town, and the next thing you knew, Deshaun Watson went out of town, but then he had all these scandals around him. This is the latest black shaming by the numbers. The whole Watson thing's been this way. Look at his birthday, 14/9, like Skull and Bones, right? Skull and Bones, 149. What's the big number with Skull and Bones? 322. Guess what? The NFL just suspended Deshaun Watson on his 322nd day of his age. And who's credited with American football? Walter Camp. And what secret society was he in? Yale Skull and Bones 322. Talking about 322s all the time. When we predicted the Houston blackout, it was 322 days after Klaus Schwab's birthday. Who wanted out of town right away? J.J. Watt, born on March 22nd, 322. Remember when J.J. Watt busted Alex Smith's leg? 33 years to the day of Joe Theismann doing it on the same hash mark on the field? Remember, that was the 322nd day of the year. Weird stuff. Remember when Devin Booker got his face busted open while on the sideline, the owner of the Suns, his wife was next to him and she had a t-shirt on with Steve Nash with a broken nose bleeding, and then it happened to Devin Booker with 3:22 left on the clock. We covered all these things, but anyhow, 322, huge number of skull and bones, huge number connected to, again, if you write out ancient mystery religions, it equals 322. That's where this whole code of letters and numbers comes from, Kabbalah. Again, Genesis 322 talks about the tree of life, the physical model for Kabbalah. Genesis is the basis of the Abrahamic religions. Abrahamic religions equals 322. The word Abrahamic alone's 187, like the 187 chapters that make up the Torah that are the basis of the Abrahamic religions. So yeah, they just continue to do this to Deshaun Watson, and this is the latest. He has the perfect skull and bones birthday, and again, understanding these number combinations are super crucial. How did we call? How did we call the Nationals to beat the Astros in Game 7 of the World Series before the Nationals had even clinched a spot in the playoffs the year they did, 2019? Understanding the combination of 149 and 322. In the 322nd game for the manager, Dave Martinez, he was on 149 losses. And we said, well, this is easy. He'll win this and he'll stay on 149 losses in his 322nd game, which he did. But then we looked at it a little bit more and we said, well, look at the way this lines up with this series against the Cleveland Indians. You see how Cleveland has gematria of 48? And you see how when I write out Washington, it has gematria of 49 and 50? The Nationals were in a situation where they had to win the rest of their games to make the playoffs. They picked up their 48th win over Cleveland in the 3-2-2 ritual on a date with 48 numerology. And then their last two games were also against Cleveland on 49 and 50 date numerology. They won all those games. They picked up their 48th, 49th, and 50th home wins, sneaking into the playoffs and then going on to beat the Astros. And it was a huge skull and bones ritual connecting both teams. Remember, George Herbert Walker Bush, the last time you probably saw him was when the Astros beat the Dodgers in the World Series. He was out on the field with Justin Verlander in a wheelchair. But again, the Bush family has huge connections in baseball. Understanding history, knowledge, what's going on, the fact that the occult rules over us, secret societies. This is how you figure out what's going on in the world. You guys want to continue being lost in the world? Keep continuing to tune in to mainstream TV, mainstream radio hosts, other people who dub themselves truth channels. Again, it's 2022, you guys. If your truth channel has never brought up gematria, in my opinion, that's a channel you don't need to listen to anymore. I know there are other things that are important in the world, but there's nothing even close that provides evidence of who's pulling the strings, the Jesuits, which you can prove all day, the Catholic Church, and how they're doing it and for what purpose. There's no other knowledge out there that connects the dots like this. There's none even close, and that's why you can't see anybody. You never hear anybody try to argue that with me. You'll just hear them say, oh, you're so arrogant, Zach. That's what they'll say. They'll try to attack me, but no, they cannot attack the point because there's no other knowledge and information out there that reveals what's really going on and who's running the show, you know? Again, everything, you guys. Ivana Trump falls down the stairs exactly 60 weeks after the Ignatian year begins, hours after Trump hints that he's going to run for the 60th presidential election when Donald Trump equals 60, and then plus all the other Jesuit numbers on top of it and how it's synced up with their marriage. Again, number 45, she's dead 45 years after they were married in 77. Again, you guys, learn gematria, see the Jesuits run the show, see how they run it, and you're not fooled by any of this crap. You're not falling for the election. You're not falling for the propaganda. You're not falling for the division. You're not wasting your time and investing energy in the rig sports. And you're not looking like a chump. And, well, that's part of the problem with the world we live in right now. Most people are chumps. And actually, it's normal to act like a chump. Like, most people in America think being a chump is normal and good. And if you're not acting like a chump, then there's something wrong with you. And that's why for all of you guys who are afraid to speak out and speak truth to power and point out what's really going on because you're going to get ridiculed by the chumps, again, that's why you need to figure out a way to elevate yourself. I don't give a shit what other people have to say because I know what society I live in. It's been clear as day to me since I was a child, and it got real clear after 9/11 when I saw I lived in a nation of morons who couldn't see the most obvious ritual that had ever taken place. The biggest lie there ever was that was now going to result in war and the needless death and killing and everyone just marching along with it and acting like something was wrong with you if you question it. Again, this is why since I've been 18 years old, that's how old I was when 9/11 happened, I've realized that there's not any point of being afraid of speaking out in front of a society of chumps and losers and blind people. These people need to be woken from their coma or possibly something more drastic than that. Because what we have is a nation of lemmings leading us to the edge of a cliff, and it's getting more and more dangerous as time passes on. And I told you guys all this a long time ago in my video, The Message 2015. If we don't have this society woken up by 2020, you're going to see some really bad shit go on in this nation in 2020, 19 years after 9/11 and the 19 hijackers. And then it's end up being COVID-19. And then your businesses got taken away and your rights and liberties. And now it's just getting worse and worse and becoming the new normal. And people are just marching along like the dumb lemmings they are. You know? Dumb lemmings listening to Don Lemon. Anyway. Since this is a big topic and Bill Russell's gone, I will take some calls this morning. I don't have the number up on the screen, but if you do want to call in, listen carefully. The number is 509-560-4982. Again, 509-560-4982. Let me open it. Shout out to Carrick Moses and Sarah Sutherland with donations on the Cash App. I appreciate it. But hold on. Let me make sure I got the phone line open all the way here. If you guys got anything else on Bill Russell's death or any of these other topics I've talked about, you're more than welcome to call in. The line is open. It is 509-560-4982. We'll see if we have any callers this early in the morning. Here, while I check. Yeah, Deshaun Watson's skull and bone suspension is still the top story. Remember that whole Alabama prison escapee story where they got busted in Indiana is all synced up with Alabama's college football season. Of course, they lost the championship in Indiana last year. Sometimes it takes a while to figure out where they're going with these stories, but you can see how they're synced up with the sports season. But usually at some point, the light bulb goes off and it ends up being very helpful. Trade deadline in Major League Baseball tomorrow, August 2nd. For the person who just called, sorry. All right, hold on. Let me reset the phone. It just went straight to voicemail. I got the notification that I got a voicemail. All right, hold on. All right. I think we're working now. What's up, Itachi?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Not much, man. Yes, up here early in the East Coast. But yeah, I did want to say Boston Celtics, it does have a 66 connection with a single reduction.
Oh, that's what it is with Celtics. Yeah, because it's 48 in the most pure, but if you use the rule with S, it is 66. I was thinking there was something there. Yeah, good one, Itachi.
Yeah, and I just thought it was crazy how this stuff is so planned out. You'll see this all the time, but the last game of the day, you know how it's like they only have one game on prime time, and in baseball yesterday was San Francisco. And, that's where he played college, and the San Francisco Giants and every...
Oh, yeah. They even did a big tribute for him at the game yesterday. So, yeah, there's no way that was an accident. That stuff's not an accident. That's all part of the ritual. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, it's just, so obvious to us. We see the 153 and that 17 relationship. And, the Celtics, 17 titles. They won game one on a 17-0 run. So... It's just really frustrating, man. I'm glad that you're calling out these fake truther channels because you've been talking about 17 the whole time, and then they just do this big...
I haven't talked about 17 in the NBA since 9 years before you got here, Itachi. But, yeah, I've been a broken record about it. And for people who don't... with regards to San Francisco, remember, it's named after St. Francis of Assisi, just like Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope in the time of this first Jesuit Ignatian year. So, yeah.
So, all right, Zach, keep up the good work, man.
All right, thanks, Tachi. See you, man. 702.
Yes, hi, good morning, Zach. It's Gus calling from Vegas. How are you, buddy?
Doing well. What's up?
Excellent. I just turned into your show for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, speaking about this Bill Russell and the actress, yeah, they all got murdered. It's not by random luck they passed away on the last day of Ignatius and all that. Please give me a break. It's unbelievable.
And for people who weren't here, I told you we knew what this finals was going to be before it was set. We knew who'd win it, and we knew it was all connected with the Bill Russell. And I said Bill Russell better look out because this is all synced up with him. So
Yeah, and Bill Russell went to the University of San Francisco,
Right.
played on the Boston Celtics, championship teams. Yeah, and guess who was in the finals, like you said. And one other thing, while I'm tuning in here on ESPN, these jokers, these analysts they have about bragging about Deshaun Watson suspension for six games. I got a clue, Zach. You know, you remember the time when Ben Roethlisberger got suspended back in 2010 for sexual harassment in Georgia for the first 6 games? And Tom Brady with the footballs back in 2016, the first 6 games.
Deflate gate. He missed 4 games. He missed 4 games that year.
Was it 4 games? Okay, yeah, pardon me. Yeah, 4 games. And now this year, after 6 years again, Watson gets suspended. And one of the coincidence, Roethlisberger went that year to the Super Bowl, lost to the Packers in the 2010 season. Brady went to the Super Bowl, you know, with the Falcons, that 25-point comeback joke. And this year, could they do the same with Watson, with Cleveland? I know we had, because every people's on Buffalo with the media too. I don't know. I kind of feel that, you know, now that Baker got traded, I don't know. They keep Cleveland in mind, you know?
It's an interesting thought. The sixth thing though also does go with Bill Russell. Bill Russell and LeBron. I'm thinking about Bill Russell and LeBron because they always compare Bill Russell and LeBron. LeBron was the first player to go to 6 straight finals since Bill Russell did it in '66, and now, you know, he started in Cleveland, and now Deshaun Watson the next day. So.
Right. Yeah, well, Bill Russell won 8 straight titles. LeBron went to 8 straight NBA finals. So yeah, I know. It's but I'm saying I don't know if the numbers will work. But keep in mind about Watson and Cleveland going to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, you know. It's a thought. I'm not.
Yeah,
100% I count it out.
Well, I'll tell you what. Jim Brown again. The Browns haven't done anything since Jim Brown. More mockery, but yeah, I'll have to look more at the. I'm not really thinking the Browns are the team this year, but it is an interesting thought. The one difference between Deshaun Watson and the other 2 quarterbacks is he's black, and we haven't seen too many black quarterbacks who've ever been shamed to have anything good happen in their career. So, all right, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, Clearwater, Florida, 727.
What's up, Zach?
How you doing?
Hey, man, I was thinking about maybe doing some T-shirts, bro, with like put some sports teams on there or specific sports person.
Hey, listen. If you guys know how to design T-shirts, I'll sell your T-shirt for you on my website, and because I can keep track of every last sale for every shirt individually, and I will send you the proceeds. I don't mind if anybody makes a T-shirt that helps get the word out. I do have shirts on there, but I suck at making shirts, which is why they hardly sell anything. Like if you go to my website, there are some shirts on here. The Menace to Secret Society one looks all right, but yeah, I could definitely upgrade the T-shirt design. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do the shirts myself, but I got people that do it.
Okay.
You know, I was just thinking, like, man, maybe do some decodes, like with like a Tom Brady shirt. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. Absolutely, like a clever shirt that gets out the word about a rigged ritual with one of these people. I guess I have a good one that I made myself with Russell Wilson. Have you guys seen my Russell Wilson T-shirt?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
On the back of it, it has all the 21s. So on the back of the shirt, it says Russell Wilson's 21st pass was intercepted by number 21 on the down 2nd and 1 on the day 2/1, blah, blah, blah. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could sell that, bro. Like, all you got to do is really just get out in the street, man. People pay for stuff, bro, like that.
Yeah.
I go out, I sell my music, and I make a ton of money out there doing that. So I'm like, do that with the same, you know, with this community.
Where are you at selling your music on the street?
Huh?
Where do you sell your music on the street at?
Everywhere, bro. I travel all over the country.
You travel, I see. Okay.
I go everywhere. So I'm like, yo, do the same thing with this. Just get a little clever with it. You know, like people gravitate to sports, you know, so you could do something with that. And just like have a nice design maybe on the front of the player and then do the decode on the back.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Make it look tight. It'll work. And just, are you still doing the thing up in New York?
Yep. It's coming up.
9/11? I'm gonna try to get up there and see you, bro. Meet up with you, link up with you.
Okay.
person.
Again, I'm going to be in more than just New York. I should be there before September 11th, but I'm also going to all the surrounding cities, Philadelphia, D.C., and then I'm driving down to Atlanta afterwards, and then I'm going to figure out the route back home from there, but I'm definitely making it out to Atlanta too, so.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'd like to get up with you and chop it up in person, you know what I'm saying? Just come up with some actual things that can further get things going in the, you know, we already know that they're doing all the rituals and everything, so now it's time to like put some actions.
I agree.
Into play.
I agree. Great call. Great idea. I'm going to work on that.
That's what I'm all about, bro.
All right. Appreciate that. I look forward to meeting up.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right. Take care. All right. Another guy coming out from New York. Great to hear. Shout out to Holographic Dream Realm, Spelling Games, Duffman187, and Truth Vibration Podcast with the super chats. I will read them in a second. 631.
Hey, Zach. It's Nick. But just Bill Russell, 11 rings, dead on the 31st.
31, the 11th prime. Absolutely. Another good one. Yeah.
But I wrote that comment the other day with Andrew Benintendi stuff. His birthday is actually 7/6, Bush's birthday. So he's born on the 187th day of the year. The guy from Cincinnati. And when Maris set the home run record, they beat the Cincinnati Reds. It also just has me thinking about the Bengals. But yeah, Benintendi born in Cincinnati, and he wears 18, 61-18. So
Okay. All right.
It's interesting. The Yankees are playing Seattle today, and it's funny. Judge's next home run is his 201st. So I was saying he's probably going to kick up 201 against Seattle, just the way they bring New York and Seattle together. But
I see what you're saying with that. Yeah, just the whole night. For people who don't know, 9/11. The day 9/11 happened, Seattle had a lot to do with it. Nobody noticed because the construction firm that built the World Trade Centers is from Seattle. The buildings were designed by a man from Seattle. Boeing, which was a huge part of 9/11, they're headquartered in Seattle. They debuted their jumbo jetliner in 1968, the year all that stuff happened. And then you had COVID-19, which started in Seattle, and then it, got a lot worse in New York. So always that Seattle, New York thing.
Yep. And it's amazing. It's going to be his 43rd home run of the year. So it would be 191, 43, 201 against Mariners 43.
Yeah. Good observation.
And just, I don't know if you saw, but just in regard to the NBA season, like I was already on the Lakers, but just seeing the Bill Russell news. But I don't know if you know this, but back on the anniversary of when LeBron signed with the Lakers, right, July 1st of this year, there was a shooting. There was 2 shootings related to LeBron earlier this year. One of them was at the I Promise school.
Yeah.
And this kid whose name equals 185, he died on the basketball courts, and they say he was killed by 3 black men. But what's amazing, so the Rams just won Super Bowl 56, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the game where all the Rams players were at LeBron's basketball game, LeBron ends up scoring 56. But 2 of the kids who killed this one white kid at the I Promise school, both their last names were Stafford. So I'm just like, what are the odds of that? But beyond that, there was also another shooting in Akron, Ohio. I think this was on 1/7, but it was the killing of a black kid on 1/7 in Akron. And it's weird because you look at the picture and he kind of does look like LeBron, but I'm just thinking these 2 major sacrifices in regards to LeBron. And I don't know if you saw these, but I mean, if you're pulling them up or whatever, but I mean, I just feel like it's definitely going to be the Lakers this year, man. 2023. Just the major skull and bones rituals we're seeing. So LeBron's on 223 total games right now with the Lakers.
The name James. The name James is 223 in Satanic Gematria. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and he played in 56 games last year. So.
Okay. Very interesting. Yeah. It's possible. Again, Bill Russell is dead 213 days after LeBron's birthday. The NBA Finals 213, always a big number in finals history, that Boston-LA thing. So, all right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, Zach.
All right, take care. 470.
Hey, what's up? Oh, hold on 1 second. Hey, what's up, Zach? This is Jordan. I'm from Atlanta. Hopefully we can get up when you get here, but I just wanted to share like a quick little personal anecdote with Gematria. A few months back, I called you saying Microsoft just put like an office park on Exit 84. That's in Atlanta. So when you get down here, you probably want to go by it. But it's Exit 84 in Atlanta. You know what 84 is, and then you got right across the street from the Microsoft Park, you have a big Wells Fargo building with the address 201 right across the street from it. So I was just like, what the? I was just like, this junk is crazy. Like how they have it all set up, and like that Wells Fargo building been there for years, and I think that Microsoft office park they started building that like years ago. When I say like literally like 10 years ago, and they just now finished it, and I'm just like, wow. So I just wanted to share that little anecdote with you real quick.
And that's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to come down there. I'm going to have to see that. So Microsoft has a new building at address 201, huh?
Yeah, well, the address is like, the building is right across the street from a building with the address 201.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll check that out, though, but that is interesting.
Yeah, all right.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm looking at this Mariners-Yankees series. So, again, for people who are decoding sports, there was a great chance that the Yankees were going to win 4 straight against Kansas City. They won the first 3, and they lost in the 9th inning in the 4th. I'll talk about it here in a second, but we're getting a lot of calls. 347? 347.
Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah. So this is my first time calling in. I came over from Kinfolk. I think I've seen you guys do something on YouTube. And it had piqued my interest in gematria.
Okay.
So just a quick. So I was in the military for about 9 years before I got medically retired, and I remember you was just talking about like 9/11 and stuff. And I didn't get a chance to deploy. But what really has sparked my interest was when I was going around like some of the posts, I will always see these like pentagrams, you know, the Star of Solomon implanted it onto the military posts. So I was like, I used to go ask my leadership, like, hey, you know, there's these stars that I would see, like I go run late at night, and they'd be like on certain parts of the trail. And I never understood like about rituals and stuff. So I used to always kind of feel bad. Like I used to live in the barracks, I wasn't married, but it was a lot of like negative energy surrounding that. So I was like, you know, I was going to call and ask you about that because it does seem like a lot of things that happened to me in the military was kind of like ritualistic. Even some of the things we did didn't make sense.
Absolutely, and that's what you start to realize when you wake up. The world is ruled by signs and symbols and also rituals. And I mean, they had us do it. I mean, think about it. They put us in 13 years of school, 13 years, while we're pledging to 13 stripes. Does it need to be that way? 13 colonies? I mean, there's rituals going on all around us that we're participating in, and we're not even recognizing that. That's what the point of this work is, to wake people up to how these rituals that are orchestrated end up, you know, taking us in and controlling us and stealing our energy and our time and putting us on paths we probably shouldn't be on. So, yeah, it's part of the process of waking up.
And, you know, when you went, I like how you explained gematria to me, and I was like, you know, a lot of stuff started happening on certain days. I wish I would have wrote it down, but they had built a tower in each part of the PT area. Like before even 5G even brought up, these giant towers. And I remember we used to do PT beside these towers. I used to get very, very sick. And a lot of us would get so sick that we'd get headaches. But I do remember when I was in the military, I used to recover really fast. I used to not really have...
Listen, I hear everything you're saying, and I want to hear the rest of this story. But like right now up here where I live in Yakima, Washington, they're running this advertisement nonstop that if you participated at this military base, Camp Lejeune, from the years 1940-something to 1970-something, call in now because you're entitled to a massive payment because you were poisoned and this information's just now coming out. And every time I watch this commercial, I'm like, oh my God, from those years to almost all those people are probably dead now. And it's just now coming out that after all these years, all these people were poisoned at this camp intentionally with contaminated water. But you know what? The reality is there's always stories like this about how the military is getting done wrong. In Iraq and Afghanistan, there were a lot of military men where they were given this like purposefully contaminated water that there was some class action lawsuit for like 15 years ago now. Again, that's why it kills me that people sign up for the military, because all this nation's ever done is exploit the military and treat them with the least care and the most evil. And they do stuff like that to you guys. They have you guys on contaminated ground, drinking contaminated water, running drills in front of places that you shouldn't be. And they probably know that there's a major health problem there. That people, that's why we get all this advertising about be all you can be in the military. The people who run the military, they don't give two shits about any of the soldiers. They look at you guys like cannon fodder. And that's why it's just annoying watching this commercial run nonstop. It's like the ultimate mockery. All these people to call in for a class action lawsuit. Some of those people will be like 100 years old now. It's like, oh, I'm sure they're still around to get their justice. So anyway.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate all the work you do. Can you answer this? This is my last question, because I know you got other people want to call in. You know, this is my last thing right here. My grandfather was Freemason. I was 18 years old, 16 when I found out. And I was very interested. I wanted to join. And then I asked about him. It was late at night. He said he was like a third. But he wouldn't go no further. And that was really made me start to question everything. I'm like, why would he not answer my phone calls no more? Like, maybe I'll answer certain things, and that's what made me get interested, because I started waking up a little bit and slowly, because I just find it odd that, he didn't want to talk to me about that subject at all. Like he didn't want to talk no more about it.
Well, that's very common for Masons, because again, a lot of people who have Masons in their family, they'll find out that their Masonic family member ends up caring more about their lodge than they're actually family, and they keep a lot of secrets, and it's like they're living two different lives. So, I mean, that right there is very common. What you just said, there's a lot of people that have that same story.
Yes, thank you for taking my call and your time.
Hey, and take care of yourself out there, because I'm sorry to hear that happened. But yeah, they probably really were messing with your health. For all the people who've ever had anything suspect like that happen in your life, look into your nutrition, eat the cleanest diet, get the stuff that filters heavy metals out of your body. Because yeah, it's sad to think that our government takes young people and puts them in toxic situations and tells them that they're being the best all they can be. It's the ultimate evil, and military soldiers do get a lot of the brunt of it. So be careful out there, but thanks for calling in today, friend. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, take care, man. It really is messed up how they do this. Just the all the evil stuff they do. What's up, 407?
How you doing, man? So I'm a young guy, right? And like I really don't know like too much about it, but I've been seeing your videos like a few since last year. You're talking about the NBA. So, I want to know, how do you know, this stuff is, what you're saying is true? How do you know?
How do I know it's true? Because we've been doing it for 9 years straight every single day. You watched a few videos, you said, over the course of several months. I've been here every single day for 9 years straight, proving my point every single day and never having to come on here once and apologize for anything, because it's been nothing but right. I mean, if somebody comes out here and makes predictions for 9 years straight about news, sports, college, pro, elections, and it just keeps landing by the exact numbers they're talking about, showing how it's the same group of people running it the whole time, and it just lines up more and more as time goes on, that's the proof that it's correct. So,
yeah, okay. I got two more questions. So, another question is, can you become how can I say this? Can you become wealthy? Do you have to
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who've made themselves very wealthy from this knowledge. Yes, you can. And look at how many people now. There's so many people now that they don't work a day job. Their job is now decoding sports and running their Patreon page and making money off the people that they sell picks to, and also using the knowledge. There's a lot of people who've become financially independent through learning this knowledge and teaching it. And again, for people who don't know, nobody was doing this in the world before I got here, but there's a lot of people who've learned. Actually, I take that back. There was one person in the world who was teaching this before I was, and I wasn't aware of them until about a year into it, because that person started making websites and trying to attack me. And the reason I found out they were attacking me is because they're making people sign non-disclosure agreements and charging them $5,000 for a class on teaching exactly what I was teaching for free. For people who don't know, the first 5 years that I was here, every video I put out was free. So somebody really didn't like that, because I was ruining their $5,000 class by putting out the information for free. But I didn't realize that somebody was doing that until I found out I'd pissed them off. So.
Damn, that's crazy. All right, thank you, man. Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, take care. What's up, 607?
Yo, it just has to do with Buffalo again.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted you to see this. Type in Tops merger. Tops. Actually,
I don't want to type in stuff. Just tell me the point that you want to make.
It's better if you typed it in because Tops Market and Market 32 and Price Chopper, 3 grocery store chains, they did a merger. And this merger happened on November 8th. And like Market 32, like O.J. Simpson's number 32. And Pate, like the guy who did the shooting, his name is Peyton S. Gendron. And Peyton S. Gendron, and the most simple is 187. And from the merger between Tops Market and Market 32, it was 187 days later that the shooting came. And,
Okay.
Also, I think it was 6 months and 6 days. And merger in the most simple cipher, 66. And in regards to Bill Russell, he died a span of 197 days from his upcoming birthday. And 197 is the 45th prime. And his death comes 45 days after the Warriors won the finals.
Or a span of 46. Yeah, okay. Ritual 45.
And
That's like Kathy Hochul. Governor Hochul's 197. She's from Buffalo. She just did her thing at the Tops 197 days before the Super Bowl. And again, she's the 57th governor, Super Bowl 57, 197, the 45th prime, Buffalo Bills 45. So similar pattern.
yeah, Bill Russell averaged 15.1 points career. And Jason Tatum, it was a span of 151 from Jason Tatum's birthday. And 151 is the 36th prime. Like 6 times 6 is 36.
Right.
And he's dead on 3/1/7. And 317 is the 66th prime. It's just all mathematics.
Yeah, we know that.
Like
so.
that most. Yep. But all right, Zach, keep up the fantastic work, and thanks for taking my call.
All right, appreciate it, man. Take care. Okay, by the way, just for people who are new to Gematria, just tips. When you look at the beginning of a series, like today's Monday, so all these new baseball series begin. If you know teams Gematria, like for example, Mariners equals 43, Seattle Seahawks equals 43, Seattle Kraken equals 43, Seattle loves 43. You can get a clue. It's like not every time will it work out this way, but there's a great chance the Yankees have a chance to sweep the Mariners and get their 43rd home win, but winning the series, winning at least 2 out of those 3 games, highly probable. 814, what's up, 814?
Hey, this is actually about your video on the Buffalo thing as well.
Okay.
You had light bulbs going off in my head, especially when you connected the what was that? The alert on 7-Eleven over the nuclear thing. So okay, to start off, okay, we know about the Dark Knight Rises, the Batman movie, where the part of the movie where the stadium explodes, the football stadium,
right?
And it's at that point in the movie, for those who haven't seen it, that the villain reveals that he'll be holding the city hostage with a nuclear weapon. Okay, have you ever heard of the movie The Sum of All Fears?
Yeah, I've talked about before.
Well, yeah. Well, in that movie, Jack Ryan movie, played by Ben Affleck, who also plays Batman.
I've often drawn the parallels between these two movies because you have like a Steelers-Ravens game in that movie, and then in the Batman movie, you got Steelers and a bird team.
Yep, and in that movie, a nuclear weapon goes off in a football stadium.
Right. I've been talking about this since 2013, for the record. It's in the very first post I ever did on anything, the comparison between these two movies. So go ahead.
Okay, so what do they call the case that follows the president around with like all the
nuclear football
and all that stuff?
The nuclear
football.
Right.
Now guess what that equals in Jewish?
I actually don't know.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, really? You know what else I noticed was 7-Eleven in Jewish Gematria? Hillary Rodham, since she's part of it as well. Again, for people here, I got to put up the post for people who don't know what you're talking about, because I just did a video on this 2 days ago. The latest on Buffalo, but go ahead and tell what the rest of your thoughts.
Well, it also happens to equal 1776 in reverse Sumerian.
Okay.
But and it's 190 like Joseph Biden. And I was thinking too, and in the movie The Sum of All Fears, you know, the president is in the stadium just beforehand. They rush him out, but Morgan Freeman's character gets killed. Well, Morgan Freeman wasn't the president in that movie, but he did play the president in another movie. It's just an additional thought I was thinking about, but you can go ahead.
He might be the president in the series about the movie. Is he the one in Angel Has Fallen? Is he the president in that movie?
Yep.
And that's the one synced with Kobe's death. So
Yes.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
But
All right. For people out.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, for the people out there who aren't following everything he's saying because you don't have all the details, again, the Rams and the Bills are opening the season this year, Buffalo and Los Angeles. And remember, they both had the mass shootings in the news on the same day on May 14th. But look at this. Donald Trump confused 9/11 with 7-Eleven in Buffalo, and he tried to buy the Bills before he ran for president. That's the story, at least. But look at this. From the day that the last time the Bills and the Rams played, which was September 27th, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, to their season opener this year is 711 days. And remember, we had the 7-Eleven mass shootings this year on 7-Eleven. That was the same day that New York had the scare about the nuclear bomb PSA, what to do if a bomb goes off in New York City. That was also on 7-Eleven. And again, 9/11 makes you think of the 9/11, the Manhattan Project, the World Trade Centers in Manhattan, Ground Zero, which is terminology that relates to where a bomb explodes above or below ground. And again, because of the Julian calendar to Gregorian calendar, September became the 9th month instead of the 7th month. So it used to be 7/11, 9/11. So there's a 9/11, 7/11 connection too. So anyway, he's just pointing out all this stuff: football, predictive programming, nuclear football, Trump, Buffalo. What's going on here? So anyhow, very interesting.
I wouldn't put it past these crazy bastards to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe there'll happen to be that stadium that they need to tear down anyway.
You know that's the way they would do it. They do it at a stadium that they need to renovate.
Yeah.
So, indeed.
All right, have a good one. Just wanted to get that out.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks. Again, this footage that's on silent right now, it's just from when I was at the Tops in May, and I was showing how the only team with NFL representation there is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, who loves to torture the Bills. And then I'm going to show this hoodie sweatshirt that they put up there for one day, paying tribute to LA, who the Bills opened the season against. What's up, 443? 443.
Yeah, I tried to. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was I was listening to your broadcast the 29th of July, Friday, and you didn't mention there was a death that the news reported on that day of a former NFL player, Charles Johnson, who died.
Yeah, I meant to do that. Go ahead.
They reported the news on the 29th, but they said he actually was found dead on July 17th.
That's what I saw. I actually meant to cover this. There's so many things to keep up with. But yeah, I saw the same thing. Yeah. And for people who don't know, the Jesuit order equals 177 forwards, 201 in reverse. They do a lot with that day every year, July 17th. So already, no doubt, Jesuits are on my mind. But did you look into this?
Oh yeah. He was found in a Hampton Inn, right out 6.5 miles from his house in Raleigh. Of course, Hampton Inn equals 47. It was on the 24th date and the 42 date numerology. Found dead equals 74, of course. I mean, there's so much into this. I'm losing my mind.
Well, okay. Yeah. Again, 47, huge number with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, Charles Johnson is 73. Is a 21st prime number. Is a 210th day of the year. I mean, there's so much crap to this.
He was drafted by the Steelers. He was drafted by the Steelers. The Steelers are the only publicly Jesuit-owned family in the league. The Rooneys are known for being Jesuits. So, again, he dies on the big Jesuit date, drafted by the Steelers. So, he was drafted 28 years.
I'm in the middle of trying to decode the Star Trek chick that died.
I did. I decoded her in this stream. Did you watch? In this stream, I talked about her death.
I'll have to go back.
Yeah, it's near the beginning. After I talked about Bill Russell, I talked about Nichelle Nichols. Again, hers is easy because she began acting in 59. She died on a 59 date numerology. Star Trek equals 59. And the first ever episode of Star Trek she was in was called The Man Trap, which equals 154, like ritual sacrifice. And she was found dead on the day, leaving 154 days left in the year. So there's more to it.
So you can almost have a show every hour.
I could. I could be on here. I could be on here broadcasting 24 hours a day if it were possible. So, yeah.
I appreciate you taking my call. I just wanted to bring that up, the Charles Johnson one.
Well, thank you, because I meant to cover that the other day, and I forgot to do it. So, thank you.
Just another NFL player by the numbers.
Yeah. R.I.P. Thanks, man.
You have a good one.
Yeah, see it. Yeah, so often they're found dead in hotels, and I mean, there's a bunch of things that could be going on. A part of me thinks that they're being lured into hotels with women, and these women aren't who they think they are, but that's just my theory. What's up, 984?
What's going on, Zach?
How you doing?
Not much, man. I wanted to point out a thing with Bill Russell's death that they gave to us in the finals.
Okay.
So, game two, the final score was 88-107. The team became 1-1, like Bill Russell and him being famously known for 11.
Mm-hmm.
But 88-107, and he died 88 years, 170 days. And I was like, no way, that's like not them like telling us beforehand that they were going to off him, because 88-107, 88-170, and then
well, look at this, man. Here, look at this. Again, ritual sacrifice. Right. Ritual sacrifice equals 107. But look, the game was on June 5th. That day can be written 5/6 like 56. He's dead 56 days later. Society of Jesus 56. He joined the NBA in 56. So dead. That I mean that. Exactly. Yeah. So I when I look at things like this, I always find the simplest way to explain it to somebody. Into the NBA in 56, 5-6 game, dead 56 days later. You're 100% right. That game was. Yeah. That was the ritual.
And I wanted to point it out because like in the community or in this community, some like all of us consider ourselves like woke, but it's still some of us that are like on the fences about certain things. And a guy dying at 88 is understandable because he's on his way out. It's 88, but that thing right there, I think proves that okay, like clearly they murdered him. No way that the game finishes 88-107, and then he dies 88 years, 170 days, raised in the Bay Area, spent his career with the Celtics. No way that's a coincidence. And
that's what we've been saying that the whole time, that this whole finals was about him because it connected his cities, Boston and San Francisco. And again, I said months ago, he better look out because, this is how they do it. They bring a championship together that celebrates a player, and the next thing you know, they're dead. And as we also see, usually when this happens, the players are black. Like we know they had the Joe Montana Bowl the other year. Joe Montana, 54, his two teams play each other, but he lives on. Granted, he's not in his 80s yet, but how often are we talking about a dead black man who's around 50 years old synced up with one of these sports games? It happens sometimes with a white player. It happened with Kevin Green of the Steelers, but it's usually black players. So,
and he dies on the 59th month of LeBron changing his number to 6. Back to 6.
William Russell, 59.
Month of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And LeBron passed Russell on the all-time scoring list on 4/2/2010, and he did it 317 days before Bill Russell's 77th birthday.
Say that one more. Like, wait. Say that one more time. I got to hear that again.
So LeBron passed Bill Russell on the all-time scoring list on April 2nd, 2010.
4-2.
He did it against the Hawks. And Bill Russell was drafted by the St. Louis Hawks.
Right.
And he does this on 4/2. Bill Russell equals 42. I think it's St. Louis Hawks.
So does LeBron James. Both their names are 42.
Exactly.
Missouri's 42.
And,
Missouri's 42.
He does this 317 days before Bill Russell's 77th birthday.
And think about it, he died on 31/7, and it was months before the 77th NBA season. So I feel like, well, is LeBron going to win that like a clue? He passes him on the all-time scoring list on 317 days before his birthday, and it's his 77th birthday. Wow, what are the odds of that?
Yeah, indeed. What are the odds?
I think LeBron is something to clue in on this year.
Yeah, indeed. And LeBron's next finals appearance will be his 11th finals appearance. So
exactly. Wow. Yeah, man. I just wanted to share that though. I found those things. I had to share it with you.
yeah, that's a really great. I mean, it was already over. And for all the people out there, like, oh, he's 88. What are the odds that this Jesuit mega star in the NBA dies on the last day of the Jesuit Ignatian year in this perfect ritual?
Like, come on. That's like, you don't need nothing else. That should be the icing on the cake. You were ambivalent before that, right? That should be the icing on the cake.
And what did I talk about on Game 1 of the NBA Finals? Joe Biden's 17-minute speech on gun control and his whole history with John Havlicek and what happened in that game all about 17. I mean, it's just it should be obvious to everybody.
You think it might be a sync to the Kill Bill series? Kill Bill equals 137, and he died on like 31/7.
Well, again, they say LeBron. I mean, there's very possible because they say Kobe got his Black Mamba nickname from that film, so that wouldn't surprise me at all. Black Mamba equals 59, the 17th prime. Kill and Bill both equal 17. Each of those words are 17. So
crazy, man, crazy.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that, man.
Yep, thank you.
Sir.
Take care. 917.
Yeah. Oh, Zach. Zach, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
I'm here. I'm here.
So I just want. Yeah. Okay. So you're talking about the Yankees are playing the Mariners tonight, and the Yankees are giving out, for some inexplicable reason, a Jerry Garcia bobblehead, and Jerry Garcia bobblehead in Gematria sums to 99, which of course is the jersey number of Aaron Judge.
Okay.
So I'd say pretty good chance that the Judge is going to poke one out tonight.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I was hoping he was going to do it yesterday because it would have been really easy to explain in my book that I'm about to send off. But it would have been nice if he hit 201 on the last day of the Ignatian year. But yeah, perhaps they are saving it for the Seattle series. So
yeah, so that's all. Just want to throw that out. Maybe people make a couple bucks because right now he's a plus 210 to the home run tonight.
Okay, all right.
All
Appreciate
right,
it, man. Thanks.
That's all.
See you. 937. Oh, 937 got disconnected. Here, they're calling right back. 937.
Hey, Zach, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. So one of the things that has always interested me is on Facebook. I try to follow this Masonic or sorority fraternity log as far as celebrities, because a lot of people don't realize how many, obviously, Jesuit puppets there are. And like clockwork, as soon as Bill Russell died, it mentioned him being a Kappa and stuff like that. And then, of course, the first thing I thought about, and I told my brother, was how he went to San Francisco for college, and that his first gold medal, I believe, was in the year 56. If you remember, they said he won a gold medal in 1956, and there was just so many numbers that pointed out that like his career was just like, scripted. Even though it was like in the 50s and 60s, it was like a scripted Hollywood career. I want to say with Bill Russell, it also makes me think of Russell Wilson. For some reason, switching over to the Broncos, they're making a new Ford Bronco, white Ford Bronco. I don't know if you've seen that. That looks kind of like the 90s style with Russell Wilson. And so I really think the championship game in the AFC is going to be Broncos-Bills.
I will not be surprised if that's what it is either. Again, just for people to understand how stupid it is, again, Russell Wilson was drafted by the Colorado Rockies into baseball. His dad died the very next day, which he said was the biggest surprise of his life. That's when he still played at college football at Wisconsin. And then when he went to the NFL, as we know, he beat the Broncos in Super Bowl 48. Now he gets traded to the Broncos, again, where the Rockies also are. And who's his first game against this year on Monday Night Football? Against his former Seahawks. And Russell Wilson's playing in Seattle. And do you know what Russell Wilson's next potential away win is?
What would that be? I'm not exactly sure.
What Super Bowl did they play in? What Super Bowl was Broncos and Seahawks?
48.
Right. So what do you think his next away win number is if he wins?
Wow. Now, would that what city would that take place in? Or
It's in Seattle. He'd get his 48th away win against the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seattle 48. Yeah.
Seahawks equals 48.
Coming back to me now.
Seahawks equals 48. So.
And it's interesting too. Last year, his first game. Well, his last two games, as far as starting the season, last year he played in Indianapolis. His first game, and then the year before that, he played the Bengals, which is where he's from, in Cincinnati, which is the city I'm actually in right now. And I just find it funny. Like, I firmly believe, I think we'll have a conversation later in the year that it'll be like Denver, Cincinnati somehow. They'll get Joe Burrow out of here, and then it'll be Denver, Buffalo. Like, that's how the matchup will be, like, going into the championship game. And it makes sense, too, because Josh Allen is from not in Denver, but, out there, out west. So it makes sense, like the hometown boy finally makes it. Oh, and isn't Wyoming the Cowboys or the Broncos or something?
Yeah, Wyoming's the Cowboy state. Wyoming's the Cowboy state. So.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. But I think another two people, because I know you had mentioned as far as older people, people don't understand them getting them out of here. And just like Ruth Gator Ginsburg and people like that, they're like, how can they get older people? They're old. And it's like, no, they have like a Betty White dying before, being 100, even though Time Magazine or something had a magazine out for, like, they plan these older people's lives out too, just like the younger ones. Like, I believe William Shatner, I just realized he's 91. I didn't realize he was that old. And he's from Canada. If Toronto is going to do anything in the playoffs in baseball, I think he needs to watch his ass too. Like, because it seems like every few years they've been getting these Star Trek guys out of here. Like, so I think he's one. And then I don't know if anybody's mentioned Kareem in your videos yet, but I feel like, Mr. Death, Mr. Megadeth, when LeBron's lurking around, he's going to pass him as a Laker this year, most likely, correct? Like, I think that's what's going to happen as far as...
Well, hold on. I just want to make a point about LeBron. If LeBron wins the next NBA Finals that he's in, he would be 5-6. And that's a big number, 56, because, again, Society of Jesus is 56. King James Bible's 56. We were just talking about Bill Russell, who won the gold medal in 56. And then in that game on 5-6, he dies 56 days later. It seems that game 2 was a big tribute to him, where the series became 1-1, him dying at 11 championships connected to both cities. So LeBron getting to 5-6, I mean, it definitely seems, not to mention another huge 56 in society right now, especially since the NBA is rocking the t-shirts. Black Lives Matter equals 56. So...
Yeah, and now, speaking of that, did he win? Was the bubble year? Or no, the bubble year wasn't the same year as Black Panther.
That was 2020. Right? Yep. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman and
what?
Kobe died in 2020, and then the Lakers and Dodgers won that year.
Yeah, because I want to say, if I remember correctly, the day on that the movie came out, which I laughed beforehand because of your knowledge. Shout out to you, by the way. I can't give you enough praise. But it was February 13th. Like, they said it like maybe 6 months before that. They were like, Black Panther comes out February 13th. And everyone's like, oh, it's Black History Month. And then I was like, Black History 213. And, I obviously all the numbers.
Black Panther. Black Panther has the Gematria 213 as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Actually, you're right about that. And this year, of course, they got him out of here, and it's going to be his sister, or as far as character-wise. This year comes out on 11/11/22.
Black,
He
11.
just, 44 numerology. I'm just like, come on, like they killed the king. It makes you wonder. Like, now I will say this: do you think LeBron would go to has one more team in him?
I think he'd go back to Cleveland. I think he'd go back to Cleveland because that's what ESPN. If you guys go back, look this up, you guys. It's this from this date, July 22nd, 2018. ESPN, LeBron, Cleveland, 22. Do a web search for that. Here, let me type it in right now. It should pull it up. ESPN did like a 5 to 10 minute, it was like a mockumentary. It was kind of like making fun of a person like me, but it was about LeBron, Cleveland, and 22, and they did it on July 22nd, 2018. If you can find that film, definitely watch it because it lays out how LeBron will finish his career with his son. So, in Cleveland.
And it would also make sense because I know the whole thing with King James and being a Cavalier. He goes there, and somehow I believe that LeBron wants to own the team. He said that for years, and I believe like the onus is going to be kicking Dan Gilbert and his son out, and he'll eventually own the Cavs. So it makes sense he gets his another championship with Cleveland, all that. Everybody just loves him, and he goes down as like, the new, era, the hero that everybody wants him to be. But it's such a joke. Like, I mean, knowing that Nate Thurman's been his dad and that he's basically been taking the superpower juice, his whole career to me, I mean, it's just such a joke. I appreciate you so much. You have a good one.
All right. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is it right here. Cleveland sports heartaches and the number 22. This is it right here. July 22nd, 2018. I remember it like it was yesterday. Man, time flies by. But watch that. It's over 6 minutes long. It's 573.
What's up, Zach? What's trading on the line?
You're a little bit.
So
It was kind of unclear. Go ahead.
Oh, I said this trading on Lamont. So I'm watching the stream right now, and I'm going through. I just Googled Bill Russell because I remember in like 2020, Bill Russell had made a statement in regards to Kendrick Perkins, the NBA analyst, ex-Celtics, saying LeBron is the greatest athlete of all time, right?
Right.
So I got on there and I saw Kendrick Perkins' tweet, which came on June 15th, 15/6, which had that. And then Bill Russell responded that same day by saying, listen to this. He goes, in 1956, I could have made the Olympics in the high jump. Blah, blah, blah. He's responding to that, but he uses the number, 1956, but he's responding to that on June 15th. So in the on the Gematriator, in the reverse full reduction, Bill Russell is 156. So I'm just like, look at that.
So is Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics is 156 too.
Okay. So yeah, I was just looking at it. I'm like, man, they put everything, right in our face all the time or whatever. Yeah, in the reverse ordinal, Bill Russell is 156, and then he responded to LeBron on to the Celtics announcer Kendrick Perkins, on 15/6 or whatever. So I'm like, man, look at this shit. They just put this shit everywhere. So.
Yep. And again, it's a reminder. The day that John Havlicek died for the Celtics was the same day Joe Biden announced he was running for president. Again, his Secret Service name is Celtic, but he died 156 days after Joe Biden's birthday. So I'm putting it up on the screen so people can see. Boston Celtics 156 forwards, Bill Russell 156 in reverse. That's why you got to run it forwards and backwards. So.
Wow, that's crazy. So I also noticed in the chat, this wasn't my find, but somebody in the chat said Bill Russell was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame in 1975, and then this year is the 75th NBA Finals, and then in reverse full reduction, like you got on the screen right now, Bill Russell is 75. So like, man, everything just so so fucking coded up, man. Like, we got to keep spreading this knowledge to the community. I was in the chat or whatever, trying to see if I can get y'all to come down to Ferguson, Missouri, or whatever. Maybe we can.
Here, let me look at a map of the United States. That's how far is that from Atlanta?
I don't know. It's like an 8-hour drive from here. I don't know.
Well, that's not a big deal because it's 8 hours in the direction I got to drive back. So I think that might be a smart place to go to after Atlanta, St. Louis. So
Yeah, come to St. Louis. Zach.
I'm doing it all. No, because I'm driving from Washington State to New York, and then on the way back, I'm gonna try to hit big cities before I make it home.
Okay, well, if you make St. Louis part of the trip, man, I'm gonna come down there with a couple of the guys or whatever. I've been trying to do my job to make sure that we spread the knowledge between everybody. We out there. I see everybody in the community. Angel Baby, RPM Trey, everybody. So I see that the word is spreading or whatever. Everybody just doing their part to, spread the knowledge, man, and trying to wake the world up to what's going on.
100%. And I'm glad the word's getting out there. Great calls, great additions. And yeah, you know what? I was sleeping on that the whole time. You're right. Bill Russell, 75. I mean, how perfect. Dead after the 75th NBA season. How sick. Great observations. So.
All right, Zach, keep decoding this shit.
All right, take care, man. See you. Yeah, again, 4-2 series, 75th NBA season, the same number in his name that's Boston Celtics that goes with the John Havlicek death. It's just, again, the more you look at this stuff, the more sense it makes. Sweet lady just handed me a note. She reminded me that I'm supposed to make I make this little like mini apple pie thing. Sometimes she likes to take it into work. She said, "Are you making my mini apple pies for my coworkers today?" I can do that too. I got to do a million things over here. I got to keep up with all the news. Please, sweet lady, hold on. I see you guys got generous on the super chats. Let me say thank you to the super chatters real quick. And again, if you guys want to, I had my worst month on Patreon that I've had in 3 years, you guys, in my birthday month. That hurts my feelings, but I got to get my number back up, you guys. Things are getting expensive. We've done a lot this year. Traveling, pound and payment. It costs money to do things. I need more people to pledge $1 a month. Can you guys do that for me for the work? Pledge $1 a month to the Patreon. That's $12 a year. That breaks down to 3 pennies a day to make it so that we have more resources to get out and do things like when we went to Oklahoma City, Dallas, Buffalo, Seattle. All this stuff takes resources. I need you guys to help out. This word needs to get out there. Again, you guys, this knowledge is so important. And for the young guy who called in earlier, he's like, how do I know it's true? He should have known this was true. What I've been talking about should have made it onto ESPN and all these major platforms 9 years ago. Of course, they're not going to do that because they're all part of the shenanigans and the rigging, but this is the information people deserve to have. They're not going to get it in this world where information's controlled and the liars are on TV all day and the people telling the truth are getting their channels deleted and censored and buried in the algorithm like me. But again, that's why we got to get out and pound payment. That's why we got to inspire this group that just met up in Texas. They got inspired from our April get together in Texas. Now they've formed a community and they're coming out and pounding payment. If you missed what they just did in Austin this weekend, they were out there like looking like they were in elementary school with science poster boards with gematria all over it, but it was awesome. They were teaching people on the streets gematria, and we need that happening all over the nation so everybody can wake up to what's going on. But here, let me say thank you to the super chatters real quick, and then I think I do got to make some apple pies, some little mini apple pies here. But Holographic Dream Rail chipped in $2. Thank you very much. Spelling Games chipped in $5 and said, Gematria support any way possible. Share the work, donate, talk to your friends and family about it. Get the word out there. I appreciate that. I appreciate the donation and the message. Hold on. We got a call from Cousin Mar. What's up, Cousin Mar?
Cousin Zach. What's up, family? Everybody in the chat. So I had posted in the chat. I don't know if you had went over it because I'm driving the tow truck. Just joined the stream late. Did you know that Bill Russell graduated from Herbert Hoover Junior High School?
Oh, my God, man. That just goes with the whole Herbert Hoover thing we've been talking about. Again, his birthday's coming up August 10th. I did not know that.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like with like the wiki or whatever, go down into it's something that says it's like his guide towards playing basketball, and it says that he was like cut or some shit at Herbert Hoover Middle School. Then he went on to like get knowledge from this guy George Powell, who was like an advocate for like changing, like the racism back then. So he decided to get Bill Russell on a high school basketball team and take him under his wing. But yeah, look that up because of that.
He went to Herbert Hoover Junior High School.
Yeah, that's where he graduated from.
Yeah,
Bill Russell.
Yep, I see that. Yeah, again, for people who haven't been following all the videos on news, we've been talking about Herbert Hoover a lot for a lot of reasons. You just had the explosion at the dam named after Herbert Hoover. He's the Great Depression president. Again, Gerald Ford said at the Herbert Hoover Library how we'll get the first female president when an old man will die in office. And again, Kamala Harris was born on the same exact day that Herbert Hoover died, October 20th, 64. So, and his birthday is August 10th. We're watching Herbert Hoover's birthday. But yeah, wow, Bill Russell even has a Herbert Hoover connection. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, so Celtics down in the final. The all-time legend Celtic is down, and now Secret Service Celtic is about to check.
Herbert Hoover, H.H. initials, right? H is the 8th letter, 8 initials, and now he's dead at 88 too. So that's interesting.
Yes. Well, that's all I had to call and say, man. I appreciate you taking my call.
All right, thanks, Mar. Take care.
Yeah.
See you. Yeah. I think I heard him say he's driving the tow truck. I could never do that job. I couldn't drive a tow truck, man. I'd feel bad taking away everybody's car. Let's see. Duffman187 chipped in 5 Canadian. I appreciate it. Truth Vibration Podcast chipped in $2 Canadian and said Ronald DeSantis 56. Of course it is. Good little Jesuit puppet. IBN 12 $5. Holographic Dream Realm chipped in $10. Said 60 Minutes Australia has a segment in Is Poland Putin's next target? We've been talking about Poland all year, man. Again, remember, World War II started with Germany invading Poland in 1939. Go back and look at the news this year on March 9th, 1939. It was all about Poland in relation to Russia, Ukraine. It's just like, look how they do this crap. Everything's a tribute. Everything's a numerological ritual. Remember, these secret societies, they got etched on their buildings. All is number, the Pythagoras quote. Then they wrote, where the woman being interviewed at 5 minutes and 33 seconds in smiles after saying, everyone in Poland will have sad stories of the war. Okay, appreciate that heads up. I'll see if I can find that clip. Truth Vibration Podcast chipped in another $2. Mr. Scott chipped in $5, said, thanks for taking my call. I will do my best to stay healthy and alert. Got to get the truth out. Again, he's the young gentleman who talked about at this military base. They were having him do all these weird stuff next to these towers, and everyone was getting sick and headaches. And again, they use us like experiments, you guys. They treat us, the people of this nation, like we're some kind of experiment, and they do it the most to people in the military. And the evidence of that is all over the place. I'd encourage all of you young people to never join the military. I know it might be your only option to get out of your neighborhood or to get money for school. I'd still encourage you to find another way. You're not respected as a member of the military. You're looked at as cannon fodder, and they'll treat you like shit. And you might be the next person who's dead from some new disease and illness from the experimentation they did on you. And then you might be like me, sitting here in my living room watching an advertisement run over and over in case I was at this military base 80 years ago that I should call in now to get my class action settlement. It's just such a mockery. It's just like, okay, for everybody who that applies to, is anyone even still alive to watch this? Who's going to sign their kid? I don't know how people don't learn, man. Advertising, mind control. By the way, you guys, make sure you're eating cilantro and parsley in your diet because those vegetables have properties that are really good at cleaning heavy metals out of your body. Grind up some cilantro and parsley, put it in your food. It's good at detoxifying. There's other foods, of course, but cilantro and parsley are cheap, readily available. What's up, 708?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
What's up?
Hey, I got a question, and I want your opinion about this. I'm just looking at everything that's been happening in the last year with Bill Russell, and I know he was originally drafted by, what is it, the St. Louis?
St. Louis, yep.
Everything is pointing around the state of Missouri. Do you think everything from, the Roe, when Roe versus Wade got overturned, the first state that said they were going to, block the abortion, I think it was in Missouri.
Yep.
Was Missouri. Then the flood through Missouri and eastern Kentucky. I'm just starting to see a pattern when everything is pointing towards Missouri. I can't figure out what it's adding up to. I was just wondering, your thoughts on it.
Well, Missouri has that gematria 42, like Roe v. Wade, and you just had Patrick Mahomes speak out on Tiger Day about racism towards black quarterbacks. And remember, every single ritual with Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs every year is 42, 42, 42. The only 3 black quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl all have the 42 connection. Of course, Bill Russell's 42 drafted into Missouri. So again, I'm not sure if it's something so specific about Missouri right now. God, hold on. I know, you know what? Kayla Decode Talker recently did a post on Missouri's upcoming birthday, which is this month, and maybe the state turns 201 years old. Let me check this out real quick. Maybe it's something about the state turning 201, if that's right. Hold on. Missouri's birthday is, let me see. I'm getting it right now. Missouri is the 24th state. Yeah. So Missouri is going to turn 201 years old, that magic Jesuit number 201, actually on Herbert Hoover's birthday, August 10th. So maybe that's part of it. The whole Roe versus Wade was overturned in a massive 201 ritual. It had the 201 and 42 connection, and Missouri is going to have those numbers too because it's about to turn 201. So.
Where was Herbert Hoover from? Like, which original state was he?
I'd have to check that. I'll look it up right now. I forget what state he's originally from. He is from Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from Iowa.
Which is, if I'm correct,
it's not too far away. They're all right there, Iowa, Missouri. So.
Yeah.
He was the 31st president. He was the 31st president. Bill Russell, who went to Herbert Hoover Junior High, dies on the 31st. So, yeah. I'll have to think more about that.
I've been keeping track of I've been keeping track of your videos and the stuff you've been talking about recently.
The Missouri train crash. That was a recent one. Yeah, the train crash in Missouri. So.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. It's just everything is centered around this state.
The whole Black Lives Matter thing, really jumped off in Missouri with Michael Brown.
Right.
So, first forward pass in football history credited to Missouri Jesuit school, St. Louis University. So, yeah.
I was just keeping track of it. Like, I mean, every last videos he's been making, I've been watching. And I'm just like, wait a second, all of this pointing towards Missouri.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll think more about it. It's a good observation. So.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Right. Oh, one more thing. I know this is just organic, and I just pointed out, of course, in the state of Illinois, when you did the video of the Highland Park shooting that evening, when you said, 8 people died, 24 shot, I believe.
Uh-huh.
That evening, and it's crazy, the Illinois lottery came out as 284.
That's how they do it.
248.
That's how they do it. Over and
Yesterday when Bill Russell died, 110 came out. Now, maybe it's just organic, but I just think that's strange.
And again, 11 championships. 11 championships. Okay. Yep. Interesting.
Yeah, I just thought that was strange.
All right. Well, I'm going to think more about the Missouri thing. It is a great observation. So.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. All right. And then Truth Vibration chipped in two $2 donations, 2 more of them. And he said from 7:30, July 30th, Biden to Pfizer CEO birthday is 38 days. Again, Biden got his second bout of COVID on July 30th. I covered all this stuff on GematriaEffectNews 24. Interesting. Of course, pandemic's 38, number connected to death. And then he says it's also 2 months and 11 days later. I'm not really following that one. I'm missing it. Couldn't be 2 months and 11 days later. But anyhow, thank you again for the generosity. And it looks like Antonio Gladney just chipped in $10. I appreciate that. He says, I appreciate your work, Zach, and much truth reveals today. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I hope I didn't miss any other super chats. Truth Seeker 22 chipped in $5 and said, I'll get on the $1 Patreon. I had to consolidate my expenses. I'm not making the same amount of money, so here's 5 extra. I appreciate that very much. You didn't have to do that, but yeah, I'm really grateful. The reason I like people to use the Patreon, even though they take a small percentage out of it, is it just tracks progress. I like to see that this movement's always growing, and it had been since I started it in 2018, But then it went down ever since I went out and pounded pavement in Oklahoma City and Buffalo. It just made it go down and down. I was like, why is this happening? We're doing more and it's going down? I need it to go back up, you guys. I got to see that more people are getting behind this work and realizing this work needs greater support to reach greater people. What's up, Leo?
Hey, what's up, Zach? I was just calling real quick because I kind of heard the stream late, but I wanted to know if maybe you picked up on that the Red Sox played the Brewers the same day that Bill Russell died.
So I'm thinking about that. So, okay, Boston, Milwaukee. Help me out where Bill Russell's fitting in with the Milwaukee piece.
Well, so Boston Red Sox is 170 and 64. And let's see here. I kind of caught your stream late, but it was 170. I'm sorry. It was 170 days, right, from the February 12th to Sunday, July 31st for Bill Russell.
Okay.
And then Fenway equals 88 because I decoded the Milwaukee game and I bet on them on Sunday and they lost. And it was like,
I hate Sunday, man. Sunday's the goofiest day. Sunday's always the goofiest day. It's just like the Yankees could have swept the Royals and kept them on the 39 wins, and they beat them the first 3 games, and then they were leading in the 9th, and then they give up the lead in the 9th. It's like, God, I hate Sunday, man. But, I mean, still, had you taken the Yankees to sweep, you would have won 3 out of 4. But, yeah, Sunday's a funny day, man, because stuff like Sunday's like the day of the week where I personally like gambling Monday through Friday a lot more than I do Saturday and Sunday. Just the weekends can get goofy, so.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, I was like, well, shit, fucking Boston trumped that riddle for Milwaukee. And I was just wondering, like, maybe if anybody had noticed anything for Boston, and then it was the same day that fucking Bill Russell, fucking they off him or whatever. But I was just like, and then the score was 2-7. Boston beat Milwaukee 2-7. I was like, look at ritual number. But also, Zach, I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you're aware of this or not. It's kind of off topic, but on the Murder by Numbers poster, you know how they changed the B to an 8? And it says 8Y, like it's supposed to be by, it says murder by numbers.
Right.
When you type in 8Y, that's what it equals.
What's that?
Like when you write out 8 and then the letter Y,
Okay.
it equals 38.
Huh.
So it's like, were you aware of that?
That's interesting. Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of like they, kind of think that as well. But yeah, I was just tripping. I'm like, man, there's always like some bigger ritual that'll trump a riddle. You know what I'm saying? And then it was Bill Russell's death. I just wanted to know if maybe you had seen anything about that game or whatever. But
all I can think with him bringing Milwaukee into it is it just reminds me, Hank Aaron was the big death last year, and he started out in Milwaukee. If there's some kind of parallel there, yeah, and Boston also has the connection with the Braves because the Braves went from Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta. So there's actually a connection through the sports team with Boston and Milwaukee through the baseball team. So, so that there could be something more there to research.
Yeah, and then it's like, you're not gonna know like if there's a more important riddle that trumps, a team's riddle that day. It's like they don't show you that. It seems like you're not gonna pick up on that unless you're paying attention to like, I don't know, like what you just explained. But I'm like, you never get to see the trumping of the riddle until after the fact. It seems like they hide it from you. Real sneaky.
Well, it's just like it. And again, I mean, that's the thing. You win more than you lose with this knowledge, but sometimes you get beat because they had a sneakier thing. It's like the majority of streaks do end at 14 in sports, and so often when it's there, if you bet that, you're going to win the majority. But like, remember earlier this year, the Yankees, they went past 14 straight wins, and they got their 15th straight win, and Gun equals 15, and Texas equals 15, and they did it over the Texas team, the Astros, the day the Supreme Court ruling, Aaron Judge knocks in the winning hit in the comeback. as the judge ruled on the gun control that connected with the Buffalo and in Texas recent shootings. And again, the Yankees win streak started on May 24th, the day of the Texas mass shooting at the school. So you could see how that whole story was synced up with the shooting. But had you just bet the typical way, you know, like, oh, they're probably going to lose here because it's 14 straight, you would have lost that day because they had a sneakier riddle lined up. But then had you just played the 14 the other day with the Mariners and the Astros, and that was a safer one because Mariners equals 43, Astros 43, the 14th prime. Sure enough, the streak ends at 14. But yeah, again, that's why, I mean, you play the knowledge, you win the majority. But yeah, sometimes they got something up their sleeve that's just like, oh, how was I supposed to know they were going to do that? So.
Exactly. It's always in hindsight. You're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, no wonder it didn't come through, you know. And Thursdays are like that too. You know, the 46s or the 35s will come in, but a lot of them won't. And when you get a perfect 46 Ritual or 35 on a decode, it's like
the Brewers did stay on 31 away wins on the 31st in Boston. And even though Boston is not in the base ciphers, you won't see the Boston 31 connection. We typically talk about 22, but if you do use the rule with S, Boston does become 31. So, I mean, I do see some rhyme and reason why they would stay on 31 wins, 31 away wins in Boston there. But I know where you were saying too with the Milwaukee. I see where they could have picked up that 53rd loss versus Milwaukee. Yeah, that's a tricky game right there. So,
yeah, I was just wondering if maybe anybody picked up on that.
Yeah, so I'd go back and look at Hank Aaron's death. I'd go back and look at Hank Aaron's death and the history of. I want to go back and look at the years that the Braves went from Boston to Milwaukee to Philadelphia. So, or not Philadelphia, but to Atlanta. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. I'll look into that. It's just good. I like to know after the fact too. It's like I want to know how they trumped it and how they're so sneaky with it. It's like, okay, that's what they fucking did.
Yeah. The Astros got their 67th win yesterday, 19th prime over the 19 city Seattle. So I always talk about the Dodgers and the Rockies, how often these teams pay tribute to 73 when they play each other because both of their team names are 73. The Dodgers beat the Rockies yesterday 7-3. It's just comical. So
yeah, it's fucking funny, this shit. But all right, man, that was all I had. I was just wondering if anybody picked up on anything.
Okay. Yeah. So all right. Appreciate it, Leo. Take care, man.
Appreciate you, Zach. Take care.
That's it. Okay.
Bye.
850, you're on.
Hey, Zach, I'm at 83 days, not 38. My phone changed the
okay.
Changed the notes. But yeah, from Biden got diagnosed again to he got the Pfizer boosters. In the CEO's name, he equaled something pretty interesting. If you just give me 1 second here, because I'm just on my phone. He equals 46. The CEO equals 46. Mr. 46 himself.
Right.
And from Biden's birthday to August 10th is 263 days.
Good one. Yeah. 56 prime. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to fix that super chat error because I was driving, so I didn't really notice.
Super chatting and driving. How do you even? I can't. I know how to do it on a computer, but on a cell phone, how do you give somebody a super chat and leave a comment in it? I can never figure out how to write the comment part.
I just hit the little $sign thing, and then you choose how much you want to give. If it's $2 or more dollars.
Yeah, you drag the thing to give more money, but on mine on a cell phone, on my cell phone, I don't see anywhere where I can write any words.
I don't know. Do you have like an Apple phone or?
It's an Apple phone.
Oh, I don't know. I never had an Apple phone. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that is why.
I know they're different about things.
All right, you're on an Android. Maybe that's the difference. I know how to write the comment and give a super chat on a computer, but I can't get it to work on the phone. So, all right.
That's pretty interesting. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna finish my decode with Biden. I found a couple more things. Remember, his day does leave 41 days left in the year. Skull and bones.
Indeed. And that reminds, Bill Russell's born on the day leaving 322 days left in the year. So, all right.
Yep.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Fine. Yep.
All right. Take care. I wanted to say something, but I keep getting calls. 423, you're on 423.
Hey, this is Amy with Cracker. I was going to tell you, I sent you a link just now. I'm about to go back from work, but I sent you a link to that decode. I seen you was checking her death out. I decoded it this morning.
Is this Amy?
Yeah, I sent you the link.
I saw your super chat. Thank you very much. Well, right away, what stands out to me is that she died on the day, leaving 154 days left in the year, and her name Pat Carroll equals 154, like ritual sacrifice, and that goes with the Star Trek actress who also died on the same day, and her first episode that she was in equaled 154. So.
Yep, I did that Star Trek one too. There was a lot of connections between her, and then there was a guy too with the 66, with it being 317 and the 66 prime. Both of the people that died on that, one of them was announced and one of them died, but they both had the 66 connection for the prime number.
Good one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got the link up, but I'm going back to work. Love y'all. Have a good day.
All right. You have a good day. Thank you. You take care.
Thanks, that kind. Bye.
So she was the voice of the evil villain in The Little Mermaid. And, you know, she died right at the end of the Ignatian year at age 95. What were the Jesuits created for? To counter the 95 Theses. Disney movie, Disney, Walt Disney. Remember, a De Molay, which is named after the Knights Templar, again, Catholic Church. And the Templar cross and the Jesuit logo. 417.
Yeah, I just wondered if you, when you were in Oklahoma City, if you saw that there's a Lee and a Harvey in the streets, and they're like 2 blocks away.
You know what? The Lee thing didn't dawn on me, but the Harvey thing was dawning on me in a big way, because the Harvey goes right past the building.
Okay, well, 2 blocks over, I think it's 2 blocks. It's either 2 or 3, is Lee.
That makes sense. Lee, Harvey, Oswald. And again, for people who don't know, Oklahoma City is just right down Interstate 35 from Dallas, where JFK was killed by Lee Harvey. So, okay, I see.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you saw that.
I appreciate it. I knew about the Harvey. I didn't know about the Lee, so thank you.
Yeah, 2 blocks over.
Good one.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Notice Pat Carroll got active in the business in 47. Isn't it amazing? I mean, oh, shit. You guys, I got to get off. I got to do a meeting right now. But thank you. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. And thank you to the Super Chatters. And until next time.